someone didn't tell me they were going to be on. Do, 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 do.
Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news. Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up on the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's stuff.
There is absolutely no chance in hell that Donald Trump is becoming speaker. Can we please stop passing around this rumor? My Lord. Can just please. There's not a snowball's chance in Mississippi in July that Donald Trump is going to be the Speaker of the House. Why does everyone keep saying this shit? 1 year, I have had to answer this stupid, ridiculous, dumbfounded kerfuckle of an idea. And Amy, I don't know why. What do you think it's Friday? Is that why I'm grumpy? What's going on here?
Well, I don't know why you're grumpy, but I think that we are so desperate. Not we. I mean, we as a collective people, half of us are so desperate for Donald Trump. We just want something.
Well, okay. That's okay. That's completely fine. And everything I'm saying just then is tongue in cheek. So if this is your first rodeo on this show, you just got to buckle in because, you know, some of it's staged theatrics, of course. I'm not upset, but I am sick and farking tired of answering that question. I'm sick. Donald Trump would never. There isn't a possibility ever that Donald Trump would be Speaker of the House. Ever.
No. Why would he take a pay cut like that?
Ever. And even if he says, oh, you know, I'll do it. He is just screwing with people. He doesn't want to be Speaker. Nobody wants to be Speaker. Donald Trump was the president of the United States. Folks, he's made it. Why would you want to work at McDonald's when you've worked at Apple?
Right.
You know, I'm going to go to Apple. Why are you going to go to Apple? Well, because I can.
Right. Yeah.
Are you a Biden fan? Yes, I'm a Biden fan because Donald Trump is never going to be Speaker. Yeah, because I'm telling you the truth. I'm a Biden fan. No. So you know what? Here we go. Just to prove I'm a Trump fan, Donald Trump will be the Speaker. At 10 o'clock, Donald Trump is going to be nominated Speaker of the House, folks.
We're Biden fans, but not for the reason that most people are Biden fans.
Right. Oh my God. Interrogative question. Can the Speaker be someone from outside the organization? This is Annie from Canada. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an unelectable position. All it's got to be done is voted on.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, Donald Trump will never be the Speaker of House. There is a better chance that they will dig up the Gipper, put him in a space heater with some smelling salts, and grab Bedtime for Bonzo chimpanzee, reanimate his corpse, and will stick his hand up Reagan's ass and control him as speaker before Donald Trump becomes the speaker. Okay? That's the truth. Donald Trump will not be Speaker of the House. He never was going to. It was never even, nobody even took it seriously except for us MAGA people. Come on, folks.
Right.
Come on. You're smarter than this. You're so much smarter than it. Why would he? What does he have to bet? Ladies and gentlemen, 45th President of the United States and the Speaker of the House, Donald J. Trump. Come on, people.
Oh, my golly.
I have a lot to talk about tonight. I was on earlier. I don't know if you know. Did you hear?
I didn't listen. I was working all day, but I did see you come on. I was just busy, so I didn't listen. But
yeah, listen. I
that
don't,
whole
I don't
work thing. Yeah, speaking of, I wanted to put this out there for the dummies. I don't have all the details worked out yet, but I give back part of my commission to like my kids' school, and I do all, and I do with the first responders and anyone with our local sheriff's. So I give back to the organization. I get 15% of my commission back. So I was like, I should do that for the dumb nation, even though I'm not licensed in every state in the nation. I do have a good referral base. If anyone ever needs any kind of real estate, I will be willing to give 15% back. We can do Travis Manion, or we can do a different way. So anyone who refers me or uses me for anything, I forgot that. I was like, I give back literally 15% of all my commission to some organization pretty much. So
Amy wants you to use her, folks.
Yeah. I'm busy, but I'm never too busy for your referrals. That's every freaking realtor says that. I hate it. I'm like, oh my God.
Listen, they have their cliche and that's fine. They've got their thing.
So I was like, I keep forgetting. So yeah, I was like, I need to talk to you about that and see if we should do like Travis Manion Foundation, or if there was some other, or, if it's whatever.
We'll figure out something.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say, Valor Home and doing Operation Raise the Roof, but fuck them. So
yeah. Well, like from my kids' school, I give 15% back to their school because they're are they a 50? I don't know. They're a, it's a religious school, some kind of, it is whatever. So I can give back to foundations and they get 100%. It's tax free when it comes to me. So it's tax free when it goes to them. So it's,
I get it.
So it's a good deal. So it's a good way to give back.
You've got a huge window, by the way, now. So
I know I'm big.
Yeah. It's,
I put on the holiday 10.
Oh shit. Shut up. Please. All right. So listen, we got to get into this. Yeah. So, you know what it's like literally to be watching C-SPAN, and you're watching C-SPAN and you're seeing somebody, sitting next to somebody else, and they're texting you while they're on TV. Mm-hmm. That's pretty fucking cool.
That's really cool.
It's kind of like when Brandon Michon was on Fox and he was texting me. I was like, I'm feeling pretty special. Today, awesome. I felt pretty special. Yeah. So I received a couple messages from the House floor from two representatives, and it was hilarious. 11:36 a.m. this morning. I'm like, dude, you got to throw me a bone here. I saw you, but you broke your silence. You're on Newsmax. I know you got to give me something. And he's like, yeah, stay tuned. It's gonna get exciting today, or something to that effect. Oh, okay. And I'm like, thanks for the heads up, and no problem. I'm like, dude, will you please get on the show so I can get you on here and my listeners can see you, because it's not going to be like our first interview. Which was more of just feeling each other out. Like, I've got questions, and I've been towing his line for a while, and I will continue to. People, I'm talking in code for a reason. I'm obviously talking about Eli Crane, and he definitely. I have a good feeling he'll come on. He wouldn't have answered me. He's in the middle of he's 20 minutes before freaking voting, and he's texting. I'm pretty sure I can get him on. Yeah. Or sending me private messages or whatever. No dick pics though.
Sliding into your DMs.
Kind of feels good. Kind of feel powerful. This came across my feed, and I was a little frustrated at this. We're going to talk about this tonight, and I'm going to make this clear. We're going to stop playing games. All right. We're going to really have a conversation. This is from Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. And you guys know that I'm not the biggest Marjorie Taylor Greene fan. And if she wants to come on my show and change my mind, she can come on here. Okay. But it says MAGA has been demanding a head on a platter. Not really. But it shouldn't be McCarthy. It should be McConnell. Half of that statement's true. McConnell did more than anyone to deliver Biden's agenda, not McCarthy. He tried to stop it. How? The next RNC chair should do the bidding of the base and hold McConnell accountable. Look at the bottom here. See if I can see this. What does it say at the bottom?
Oh, it's been deleted.
This tweet has been deleted. So I snapped it, of course. Right when she posted, I snapped it. I knew she was going to delete it. I'm like, she's going to get lit up like a Christmas tree for saying. So I'm like, snap, snap. I snapped it. She deleted it. And then I replied, hey, I got your back. Or here's the post. I got your 6. Just in case you wanted to read it again. And I posted it because here's the thing. I don't care that Marjorie Taylor Greene is supporting Kevin McCarthy. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is that she's just been this MAGA Republican and like anti-establishment Republican. And now she's like, McCarthy's our guy. So I'm going to clear this up tonight. I'm going to give you something you are not hearing anywhere else. And this is straight from the mouth of people on the floor. See, I don't name drop. I don't try to, at least. And I don't go ahead and say, oh, well, these are the people I know and who I don't know. But I have some decent connections with people. I've been in this business a long time. And I've been into politics a long time. And I've worked in the government for a long time. And I have been in retail a long time. You make interesting bedfellows when you spend this much time into this type of stuff. Okay? So I'm going to give you something you're not going to see on Fox. You're not going to see on CNN. You're not going to see it on Newsmax. You're not going to find it anywhere else. Right here on the Don and Femi Show. So here it is. How many of you know what the agenda is of the 21, now the 7, now the 5? Sounds like 5 left. And what they're asking for. Does anyone know besides me?
No. That's why I think this is what I said the other day when I was on. Like, what the heck is going on? Tell us what you're doing.
Okay, so
tell us.
Let me tell you what they're doing. And this is why you don't know what they're doing. Why you don't know what they're doing is because nobody wants you to know what they're doing. Because the only thing they want you to know is that they are supposedly, quote unquote, January 6th voter deniers, MAGA supporters, ultra-right, disruptive, shouldn't even be here today type people. I've got everything they're asking for minus 2 things that I am not putting on here because it's not my place. McCarthy is the reason we didn't have the red wave. No, the reason why we didn't have the red wave is because we endorsed people who denied the election and people who supported January 6th and ultimately didn't talk about policy at all. That's why we didn't have a red wave. Sorry, wrong. McCarthy redirected money on losing races. I'm sorry. Oh, well, it's Kerry Lake lost in Nevada. No, folks, I'm not defending McConnell. I'm not defending McCarthy, but people pull money out of losing races all the time and reapply them somewhere else. It just happens. So I understand. Oh, well, he paid a rhino Republican. Yeah, I understand. I saw Alaska too. I saw what happened with Murkowski. Do you understand that politics is a long game? It's not a quick knee-jerk reaction. Okay, here we go. Dan One Eye really messed up. Show the man some respect. He would eat you for lunch, Eddie. In a snap of a frickin' wrist, he would end your existence. Dan didn't mess up. Dan lost his temper. Dan got pissed. He's got it. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's coming from all angles. We're going to take one thing at a time, and I'll get to that bullshit in a minute when it comes to Dan frickin' Crenshaw. Come on, people. Slow down. Cool your heels. We will address it all. Kerry wasn't a loser? Really? Really? Okay.
But she lost.
She lost. Oh, no, man, it was stolen. It was come on, people. Come on, people. The voting machines went down for, in a heavily, was it a Republic district? Oh, well, wait a second. Katie Hobbs was on the board. Yes, so what? She didn't have any influence. Oh, forget. I'm not going to do it. We're done with the election. We are so over this fucking election. Hi, sweetie. How are you? Thanks for saying hi. Let me see your dolly. Who is that?
Gabby.
Oh, she's purty. She's purty. Where's Gabby from? What show?
The Gabby's Dollhouse.
I didn't know that. I didn't get to see it. Hayden was too. What channel is it on? I'll watch it later.
Netflix.
All right, I'm gonna watch it. You think I won't? The next time you come on, I'm gonna be like, dude, let me tell you about Gabby's Dollhouse or Playhouse. Which one?
Dollhouse.
All right. I'll watch the damn thing.
I've been wanting it for years now, since I was 2, and now I finally got it.
Dude, what is up with you talking so much? I couldn't even get you to give me a wave. Look at you all like coming out of your shell. Are you feeling confident and happy and all that stuff now?
Mm-hmm.
Good for you. What grade are you in?
No.
I'm 6.
6 in what grade? So that's what, 2nd grade?
I'm in kindergarten.
Wait, at 6? Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
I
You
get
can
messed
only
up
be
on
5 or 6 in kindergarten.
how do you like kindergarten?
I love it.
Good. What was the coolest thing you've done this week in kindergarten since it's Friday?
Nature study, probably, right?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you do in nature study?
Well, I didn't do that much, but we did get to go in the water, and we traced over bark.
You traced over bark at nature study.
Mhm.
You went on a trail
Oh,
hike.
neat.
Yeah.
Okay, so you took an imprint of bark, like with what, like a crayon or something like that?
No, I put bark down on the table, on the desk, and then put paper on top and rub it with red or brown.
Okay, all right. That's another way to do it. Okay, what was the coolest thing you learned on your nature exploration hike?
Coloring the bark.
Coloring the bark.
I learned that
There's different types of holly trees.
Mm-hmm.
Different types of holly trees. I don't know if you can
Wow,
hear
you're
me.
very articulate, young lady. You almost sound like your mom.
Yeah.
Who's the interview with? I'm talking to her, damn it. No,
I'll
okay.
be right back, Mama.
Okay, love you. Bye.
See you, sweetie. She's amazing. I can't believe how she's so much out of her shell, man. That's awesome. She's amazing.
Holly Day. She's my homie. She is my mini me. I love her.
Yeah. Okay. So real quick, people, yes, McCarthy most assuredly is a rhino above all rhinos. But if you're going to measure McCarthy and say he voted with Democrats 40% of the time, then you have to leave Dan Crenshaw alone, because he voted with the Republicans 94% of the time, in-house or out of house, and in-house 90% of the time. So if that's your only measure, listen, Dan said something stupid. Dan is a seal, okay? He's not a cupcake. I know he looks all pretty with his flowing locks and his eye patch and matey, I've got the scurvy. I understand that's what he looks like, but he's not. He's a seal. He's a train killer. And when this guy literally is 36 hours out of 72 sitting on his ass watching the same thing go on, and he's like, screw it, these people are the enemy, they're terrorists. It's not funny. It was, I guarantee you, it was tongue in cheek. Can we not be as sensitive as the left? Yes, I know about the red flag law. Listen, I lived in Houston, folks. I've met the guy 3 times. I understand where you're coming from. If this continues, I'll challenge him. And I wrote him a tweet and I said, dude, I didn't like this. You can't call people terrorists and extremists. And he did come out and say he was sorry. Well, he said the way a seal would say sorry. Just get the fuck over it. That's what I would say to you. And I'm not a SEAL. So I don't, military thinks a certain way. Folks, it comes down to this. If one thing is going to upset you about somebody and have you abandon them forever, like people left my show over the last couple of days, people who've been loyal to this show, they're like, I can't stand this anymore. You defended Dan Crenshaw. And I'm like, they're like, Charlie Mike, I'm out of here. And I'm like, well, pop smoke and get the fuck out then. I mean, because if it's one thing that's going to cause our demise and this relationship, this love affair, then it was going to happen anyway. You're not going to find a politician that you agree with everything. So let's go back to this.
Okay.
Oh, what do you got?
She changed her outfit. Sorry.
Oh, well, so have you been to McDonald's? I'm sorry, I forgot your daughter's first name.
Fiona.
Fiona, have you been to McDonald's? Are you familiar with a Hamburglar?
Right
You
there.
don't know who the Hamburglar is?
Mm-mm.
Have you ever seen what he wears?
Yeah.
It's right there. If I
He
open it.
wears that shirt that you're wearing right there. The black and white stripes. The
But it has
Hamburglar.
cats on it. Mine
But hers
has cats.
Cats on it.
Oh, well, Hamburger doesn't have that. Unless it's
Yeah.
hamburgers made out of cats, and that wouldn't be funny at all.
All right.
That would be horrible.
I even got
Where's
the
Jason?
same pants.
Oh, look at that. It's
But
awesome.
I didn't get the shoes. I didn't get the shoes or the jacket. All I need.
Why not? Wait, why not?
All I need is the shoes and the jacket, and then I just need to get my cat ears from downstairs in the playroom, and then put them on, and then I'll look like Gabby.
Well, yeah, and Gabby has dark hair, so you need to get a wig. Do you have a brunette, dark curly wig?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. You look just like her. Is this going to be Halloween, or is this just going to be like, you know what? One of these days, I'm just going to dress just like her and go out and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, on both. Outstanding. Awesome.
Okay.
Well,
Gotta go. I thought you were painting.
No, Jason has to do the rest.
Oh.
I didn't want to do it anymore.
Maybe he could let you watch a special show or something.
I want to play though.
Okay, well, I gotta. this is like work for me. So
Okay.
I love you.
well, kind of.
Bye, baby. Thank you.
Bye, Daddy.
You're the best. Okay. Sorry, buddy.
Awesome.
She's the best.
All right.
Sorry.
All right, so here, so don't be. Why would you ever be sorry? She's a freaking adorable. We have kids on. Honestly, I'd rather have my kids come on here than talk about this bullshit. Here it is, and this is what's in play from a perspective of a couple of things left off, and we can talk about those things. Hold on, Eddie. I'll get to your opinion in a second. I want to read it. Jeffersonian motion to vacate the chair. This allows a single person to make the motion to remove the speaker if he goes back on his word or policy agenda. It's simply a motion. That's all it is. A church-style committee. This allows us to look into the weaponization of orgs like the FBI against the American people. Term limit voting. Asking for term limits. Single subject bills that can't be loaded with irrelevant nonsense, which means the end of pork barrel politics. Texas border plan, because that is important. A budget that stops an increase in the debt ceiling and holds the Senate accountable. Ending emergency funding and all COVID mandates and funding. And 72 hours to read a bill. No more of this 24-hour bullshit, 12-hour bullshit. 72 hours to read a bill. How is any of that anti-government, anti-establishment? I want to go ahead and take over and have Trump, anti-democracy. How are those demands wrong? Is there anything that any of you can tell me that you don't want from that list right there?
Well, can I ask a question that I don't know
Sure.
the answer to?
Yeah. 12 inches.
Well, that I did know because you've told Leroy. So
Yes,
and I
I showed Leroy. Okay, but anyway, go ahead.
So I know the left is really good about this, about passing bills tonight and saying like, here's a 900-page bill. Read it. You have 12 hours to vote on this. Has the right ever done that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's one thing we don't want to get rid of. You know, like maybe that's good for both
No,
sides.
it should
like,
most assuredly be something we get rid of. But
kidding.
no. I understand why you're saying that. But here's the thing. Republicans stuff bills too.
Yeah.
But see, those things that they're asking for are not specifically Democrats or Republicans. It's the swampy way of business in Washington that's antithetical to the Constitution of the United States. So we do it. Everybody does it. But see, here's the thing. I don't think it's cool when we do it either. It needs to stop. Just like harassing jurists for the Supreme Court. These people deserve our respect. Yes, we need to challenge them. Yes, we need to have tough conversations and ask tough questions. But what we don't need to do is make up charges and try to go ahead and smear their name until the point where they just want to quit. Those compromises, most of them have passed. Some haven't. But most importantly, I will tell you this. You may not like McCarthy, but he has neutered himself. Simply by putting the Freedom Caucus, there's also a couple of other things. He added seats to the Freedom Caucus to be on the congressional committees. And that's huge. That gives them a voice, and they're a big caucus. They have absolutely every right to do that. So I said this, I didn't say this last night, but I said this to, I think, Glenn and Kevin in text, is I simply said, it's not that they're trying to oust McCarthy. They never were. Everyone knows, I've said it for a year, McCarthy was going to be the speaker. People asked me who else I thought would make a good speaker, and I always came back to McCarthy because really he was the only person in line for the job. Jim Jordan, but Jim Jordan doesn't want the job. He doesn't want the job. And when you look at this, at least he neutered himself. Now, he also moved his ass into the speaker's office, which was a little arrogant, considering he hasn't gotten the job. And I will tell you that Matt Gaetz, Boebert, and Eli Crane are not going to budge. They will not budge until they get the things that they feel comfortable. And I don't think Boebert's ever going to vote for him. And I don't think Gaetz will. And I think Eli will if he gets what he wants. Eli's not that type of guy. He will vote for him if he gets the things that's really needed. See, that's the second time somebody said Matt Gaetz needs a diaper change. I think you're completely wrong, Beth.
Yeah.
I think you're horribly wrong. I think that Matt Gaetz is a little bit of a sniveling twit sometimes, and I'm sure he would call me a foul-mouthed dick. But what baffles me is that the thing that they're doing is the most democratic / constitutional republic thing you can do. In fact, it's not democratic. Democracy is mob rule. The majority rules. The constitutional republic is that the dissenting opinion has just as much as the major opinion or the majority. You're seeing 20 people. This is what you've asked for, Beth. This is what we've all asked for. We've asked for a small group of people, one person at least, to go in there and make a difference. And what do we hear? One person can't make a difference. Mm-hmm. Well, you just are seeing how one person can make a difference. This is exactly what you wanted. You wanted change. You wanted the swamp challenged. You didn't want the mainstream Republicans and Democrats to run away yet again and put in a fake speaker like Paul Ryan, like Boner, like Pelosi. And this is what you get. You get McCarthy as a ceremonial figure. He becomes Mike Pence during the election count, certification process. He becomes a ceremonial figure. The House has too much power from a financial standpoint, from who gets in, who's in the good boys club, who's in the bad boys club. This is not a bad thing, what's happening here. I don't understand why people are so afraid of dissent. I don't understand.
Yeah. I got
Why are
nothing
we
to
so
add.
afraid of
Sorry.
it?
Yes. I'm like, totally agree. It's like the grassroots effort, like we've talked about since I've been on the show. One person cannot make a difference.
Well, guess what?
Right.
It's happening.
Right. Finally. It's taken a long time, though. It really has. But, no.
Susie, I'm sorry about your husband. I'm sorry to hear about that.
What happened?
Lymphoma.
Oh, geez. That's awful.
Listen, I'm okay with McCarthy if McCarthy's neutered. Like I said, what I told Glenn and Kevin was that they're not trying to replace McCarthy. That was never the plan. And that's why Sean Hannity, and with all respect to Hannity, who I actually admire on his radio show, and I've seen him on other radio shows, and he is one of the most polite, kind human beings I've ever met. And he's just a total dick on his show. The way he was with Boebert was completely condescending. He came off as a chauvinistic dick, and I wish that I could have a round with him, because a simple question I would ask him easily is, how can you sit here and talk shit about McCarthy for as long as you've been talking shit about McCarthy, and then Donald Trump flips the switch and endorses him, and all of a sudden you're his biggest fan? Sean Hannity is completely wrong. And he wants to make this about power. Yes, they want to have representation on the seats. Why? Because the other thing they're asking for, which I didn't bring up, is an investigation into the J6ers and their treatment by the U.S. government. And to look at the suspension of habeas corpus and due process, and if there's been violations to basic human rights and treatment to them. Some of these people are talking about sleeping in their own feces, people who have been, smacked across the ears, who are suffering with eyesight issues, malnutrition. I don't know if any of it's true, but don't you think we should know? Don't you think we should all know?
I think we'd like to. Should we? Like, should we know everything? Wasn't that the question the other day too? Like, should we know it all?
Yeah, well, I think we should know at least if our fellow citizens, whether we agree. Listen, it comes down to this. January 6th, if they're guilty, throw them away forever.
Yeah.
Put them in prison forever. I don't care.
Yeah.
If they're found guilty in a court of law by their peers and the evidence is overwhelming and they conspired against the government, and that's what you really believe they did, then try them, charge them, try them, throw away the key. But if that didn't take place, and they're guilty of a misdemeanor or trespassing charges, and they are not receiving bail because under the Domestic Terrorist Act, then that is wrong.
Yeah.
And when you've got 500 some odd people, I watched all the video. And you guys know me. I am extremely controversial when it comes to Ashley Babbitt and about January 6th and the bullshit. And I have struck all that down. But I'll tell you, if you have 500 people, there weren't 500 people who were doing the things that they're saying that they're doing. From an insurrection standpoint, breaking and entering and trying to harm congressional leaders, that was about 150 people. For the ones that were engaging in police and barricades, that was probably another couple hundred people. You go ahead and look, having 500 people in confiscated and in prison and being held, it doesn't add up. So we need to see the receipts. We need to get them in court, get them tried, get them charged, get them tried, and either put them in prison or get them out for freedom. Period.
Shouldn't that go full circle? Well,
Help me understand.
January 6th wasn't a shining moment for our country, but there was a lot of things that happened in the last couple of years that were also pretty horrible. And, there were, but there were people on the left saying, well, pay their bail money if they're, so shouldn't whatever effect is having on the people that are being accused of whatever they're being accused of for January 6th, shouldn't that happen to the people who, the riots and the burning down of buildings and cities?
Right.
And shouldn't this all come full circle? I think there needs to be more of a push for that too.
Not even that, but you're talking about the people who stormed into the anteroom chambers of the Supreme Court justice picks.
Absolutely.
And that was an insurrection.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you attack a federal building or a police officer, listen, insurrection from its legal definition and its written definition are two different things. And people understand, hopefully they know me by now, is I go by the written definition and the legal definition for something. So when you sit here and say insurrection, it wasn't an insurrection. Actually, it was. From a written definition, it was. But from a legal definition, it absolutely wasn't.
Right.
And the key word being between legal and the written is the word armed. And when you sit here and say, oh, wait a second, they had zip ties and they had mace and pepper. Yeah, absolutely. But that's not armed. And armed insurgents is different than to having assisted props to garner that were never used. And I'm not saying that that makes people innocent. What I'm saying is there's a very big difference. Even if they were successful, do you really think, oh, they got Nancy Pelosi, that they were going to sit in the middle and then all of a sudden, okay, let's resign. We're out. Let's give them the keys to the government. Here's the nuke codes. Here's a check. Have fun. You're running our government. Now, are you fucking kidding me? SWAT teams would have been in there and they would have got every one of them. Let's stop pretending that they were actually going to overthrow democracy and overthrow the government. Come on. And if the Democrats keep saying that, all they're doing is really just propping up the government to be a bunch of floozies. One drone would have ended this whole thing. Please stop. So but see, I come from multiple sides in this. They're all not mutually exclusive. This isn't a binary choice, whether you're for it or against it. Ashley Babbitt, I'm sorry. You know what? Me and a couple of other people. I feel for her. She was a veteran. I did a story on it. I felt horrible, but you know what? She shouldn't have done what she was doing. I despise the people that keep saying the only person who was killed that day was Ashley Babbitt and she was trespassing. No, she was fucking breaking and entering. And she was entering a confirmed space of no entry and was warned a shit ton of times. Do not proceed. She was unarmed. It doesn't matter. Nobody knew that. I'm not going to sit here and defend Ashley Babbitt. I think it's a tragedy. I think it sucks. But guess what? Don't break into a place that is defended by armed guards and you have no access to and expect not to be stopped, because that's that guy's job. And I don't care if he left his gun in the bathroom. I don't give a shit about any of it. It doesn't matter.
Yes. And to your point about that was their job, I lost the comment, but someone said the police are releasing murderers. But it's not the police releasing anyone. It's the government. It's the judicial system where you live. And it happens here too. The police are trying their best, but they can't make the judges do everything that they think they should.
Eric John, I don't trust anyone with two names. Pick a fucking name, bro. Says veterans like you need to be in jail why don't you call me in and tell me why? There's a phone number there for people like you, Eric. So maybe you can whine
that you need to be the jail. Like you need to hold.
Why do you always protect these people?
I'm trying to be funny. I'm just not funny.
Eric John, why don't you call me Little John? And why don't you tell me why I need to be in jail? What did I say that offended you? Please tell me. Where did I hurt you? Show me on the doll where I touched you improperly, please. Because I would love to find out what I said where you feel that, and first of all, you're probably a leftist because you want me in prison for having an opinion. Yeah, thank fucking God you're not in charge. Thank God you're flipping burgers at McDonald's, bro. There's no doubt in my mind. It's starting to cause regular everyday Americans to lose trust in our Department of Justice over this. They sure are.
Yeah.
Of course they are. And here's the thing, is that BLM, I don't want to do whataboutism. Of course BLM, the moment they attacked police officers, the moment they attacked federal buildings, that was insurrection too, according to the definition that the Democrats are applying. There is enough blame to go around in January 6th. The people who were the Q supporters and believed the stolen shit and all this other stuff, the people who actually propagated this, the Capitol Police for not having a sound strategy. I've talked to 3 Capitol Police officers who were on that day. The supervisors didn't know what to do. There were different quadrants of Capitol Police over the areas of the building. Some resisted, some let them in, and some just abandoned their posts. Nobody thought that the January 6th Trump guys and girls would do this because they don't do this. Please tell me any time that you can remember in your lifetime that Republicans rioted. I'll wait. Eric John says, nah, for destroying countries, you and your government. Fuck you, Eric. Just because you don't have the balls to fucking stand up for your country, man. I understand you got penis envy. I get it. Just because you're not a man enough to do it yourself. But one of these days, bro, you're going to have to stand up for something. Okay?
He says January 6th was a celebration. Stop hating.
Yeah, okay. This guy's fucking gone.
Yeah,
this guy doesn't have the balls to fucking call in.
No.
He doesn't have the balls to serve his country. He doesn't have the balls to call in. See you, douchebag.
Probably doesn't have.
He's typing furiously. He's trying to get it in. Oh, too bad you got banned. What a
You
yutz.
can't dial the number. It's 2.
I need to go to jail because I overthrowed countries. Yeah, you know what? The reason you're not speaking Sputnik in German, fucker, because people like me. So go fuck yourself. Republicans don't riot. Well, guess what? They did.
Mm-hmm.
At least the Democrats tell us. And then people go, no, it was the FBI. Folks, stop. Just stop.
Yeah.
You don't know any of that. You could see some video that would make Ray Epps. Who's Ray Epps? I don't care how convincing Ray Epps is. Why did anyone listen? Didn't your mom and dad teach you some things? Didn't they teach you that this is not what you go and do? That you don't go and freaking rob liquor stores. You don't go do heroin. You don't have sex with a prostitute who has a dagger tattoo without a condom. Aren't there some basic things you learned? So the moment that somebody said, we're going in, or you saw them going in, why did you follow? Ooh, we just wanted to go in and tour. That's not what happened, because I can promise you right now, I will show you the video. Amy's seen it, and you're going to say, Matt, I've never seen this video. I can't, but that's what happened. Tell him, Amy. Tell him, Amy.
Yeah, we did a whole show, and it's one of those days in my life, you don't remember the mundane days, but there's moments in time because they're so effective on your life that you remember. And I remember that show vividly because I hadn't seen some of the footage that you showed on that show. And I was like, my mouth was open the whole time. Insert joke there. Sorry. Sorry. It was horrifying. I didn't condone it before that or anything. It was just absolutely horrifying. We live a stone's throw from DC. My office is in DC. I'm in DC all the time. And to think that was so close to our home, to our families, we see horrible things happen, of course, but it was such a big scale of it. And we didn't know the scale of it. And I think most people watch right-wing news media and they were downplaying it, and the left was really upplaying it. But I think Matt really did a good job of showing the actual truth of it. And it was terrifying.
And the peaceful sides of it. Yeah. I showed both. Folks, don't tell me about Ray Epps. I was one of the first people on the internet to even bring up and show you Ray Epps. Mm-hmm. Don't sit here and quote Ray. Well, Matt, what about Ray Epps? I did the video on Ray Epps. That thing got like 400,000 views.
Yeah.
And then it went like wildfire. I'll pull it up. And I found the guy in 5 minutes. I understand. And if you want to know what happened, he turned state's evidence. Are you kidding? That's the only way he gets scot-free. Now, I keep hearing people say, well, they were riled up. They were riled up. Well, guess what? Then they need to be held accountable. I can understand getting your blood up. I can understand. I've been in fights before where a guy talks shit and I hit him in the mouth. I've been hit in the mouth, and that was and I deserve to be held accountable for that. Are you saying just because they got their blood up that they don't deserve to be held accountable? Then don't sit here and tell me that.
Right.
Because it's not true. I don't care how convincing those people are. And yes, I'm aware Ray Epps, they called him a Fed.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hold on. Sometimes you fill it in with airspace. I gotta find this.
I was gonna say I didn't know we were gonna talk about conspiracy theories tonight, or I would have texted you and Leroy this morning when I wanted to, but restrained myself because we caught something on our I say we. Jason thinks I'm crazy. We know we have cameras on our house. Mm-hmm. And so I don't always check them at night because it's mostly wildlife and whatnot, but we have some stray cats around lately, so I've been checking them at night. And last night we had a deer on our front porch pretty much. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So it was huge. I'm looking at the footage of the deer, and then I'm like, what is that? And the deer starts looking, and I'm looking at what the deer's looking at. And I'm like, so I was like,
watching you, watching me.
Right. No, but it wasn't. He was looking off the other direction. I'm like, what is he? I was like, that looks like it's a weird bug or whatever, but I'm like, he's looking at it. I'm like, that looks like a UFO. And I don't believe in UFOs. I was going to send it to you guys. I was like, someone needs to analyze this footage. We have about 10 minutes of it total. But I was like,
Are you kidding me?
no, I'm not kidding you.
Do you have it right now? Send it to
Yeah,
me.
it's on my phone.
Send it to me.
I will.
Send it to
Jason
me.
thinks I'm crazy.
And I'm going to look at it right. And I'll tell you in 2 seconds. Like choppers go by.
It's not a chopper.
No,
Send you.
Don't be that person. Don't be that person who says, I need some help identifying this and then telling me what it is.
So I don't know if it'll send you I'll send it to Leroy too. Yeah, it's time date stamped on here. So it's at 12:24 a.m. That one I just sent you. And
Okay.
then I'm sending you this one too. I'll send them all to you. Well, not all of them. I won't send you the full 10 minutes. They're in little clips because the deer will set off the camera. And yes,
All
it's
right.
a thing of chalk in front of my front door of my kids and our Christmas lights. So
see, folks, obviously there's some people here who are new to the show. Okay.
And they don't
There's
know.
some new people. Folks, I only go off fact. Okay. There's got to be evidence. And if there isn't evidence, I just don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Facebook needs a better way to sort their videos. Can I just say that?
Yeah, I agree. I think they're trying to use the data to show what appeals to you. I literally haven't even been on Facebook.
I can't even, I like, it's taking me an hour to go through and find to find this video. And I'm sorry it's taking so long.
No, I'm trying to think when that happened.
Well,
it wasn't that long ago, was it? It was summertime of this year.
Yeah, but I can't find it because it's so. All right, let me see if I can do this. Ray Epps, don't unfriend me. Oh, come on.
I can try to search.
See, the funny thing is Tim Pool did the video and they all said the same. All these videos after I did it were like, who is Ray Epps? And I'm like, oh, come on, people. I mean, can you make it any less obvious?
I remember that too, because we talked about that 2 or 3 days after the Ray Epps show. See, I have a really good memory for the most part. Not always.
Yeah. Well, and then Mark Levin did it. That's not the first time that Mark Levin has, I don't know. I mean, I guess that's not that hard of a title. Who is Ray Epps, right?
I'm just putting Ray Epps, but let's see.
See if you can find it.
December. Okay, so no.
Did you find it?
No. I thought I did, but that was Dinesh D'Souza's something or other.
Somebody find it, please. Oh, I never had the Young Turk stuff pushed. Oh, man, that was fun going after him.
Do you know how many? You would think they would organize it by views. Like,
I know.
No.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, and they hate us on Facebook, so that's tough because I never heard of any of these people. Oh, that guy. I don't like that guy.
Hold on, folks. I'm sorry. Come on. This is once they deleted my YouTube stuff. This is ridiculous. I got to get my wife, Livy. Hold on. If somebody can you go find the Ray Epps video on Facebook, sweetheart? The Ray Epps. Who is Ray Epps? Yeah.
It's so weird. When I search Ray Epps, don't unfriend me, I get our live right now.
I know.
Then something not related. And then our theme song comes up from Still Point.
Man. I see it too. Yeah. And then Ryan Samuel's show. It's just so hard to find my old stuff. And this sucks. I got to go through maybe Rumble. Maybe Rumble will have it.
Yeah.
Let me see if Rumble will have it. Ray Epps, don't unfriend me show. I can't believe YouTube
from May 26, 2022.
I don't know why.
Because when I like see more, that's the fourth video that comes up, but there's no description on that show.
You would see it. It's first of all, it's done in a 4x3. It's done in a like a box, a square, because I custom cut it. Oh, that's why it's not showing up here. I know. I'll think I can find it. Hold on. See, let's do some hold music. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can find this. Latest videos, playlist, manage playlist.
I think it's got to be from May 2022. I'm guessing based off my search.
Why do you say that?
Because everything I'm searching on here, well, this one says July though. They were mostly from May, but who knows? Because now I'm getting November too. I don't know.
Are you watching the dummies to see if anyone found it?
No, I can't multitask like that.
Jared said he found it. Jared, paste the link, Bubba. Paste the link, man. Help me out. See, this is why I love the dummies. Dummies are they're vultures.
Way better than us.
They can find it better than us. I just can't believe this. It's so hard to find any of my stuff now because there's so much of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I need to do? I just need to download everything from Facebook and put it on a server.
Well, yeah, you should. It's all on the Dumb Nation web or the Dummy website, right? Don't Unfriend Me website. You should put it on there.
All that was YouTube.
It should be on the Dumb website because every other person who has a show, what are their names? Like Crowder and whatever. They have a website outside of social media that they host all their videos on. Don't they? I think they do.
But mine were all on YouTube. I didn't have a backup. That's the problem. I didn't have a backup. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me. I know. They're all on Facebook. That's all I've got left.
Did he post the link?
He hasn't.
Oh,
he said
Jared,
he found it.
You can post or text it to
us. Everything is searchable, guys. Everything is searchable. It's not that. All right. I found all my videos here. Oh man. Now this isn't going to be able to find it. This sucks. All my stuff is gone. Mm-hmm. It's depressing. Well, I've seen it pop up before plenty of times. What?
I have a drink tonight, so.
Oh, I
haven't drank in a while, so I'm having a drink tonight. So I'm just feeling good. It's been a long week.
Let me see posts. I'm going to do one more thing. Right. Oops. God, we got a lot of people on waiting for this too.
I know. Come on, people. I'm trying to look. I don't have anything that I could talk about.
I got it. I got it. He is from. I got it. Nailed it.
What is it?
It's. I don't know. It's here. I just found it. So I got to shrink you again. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
No, just.
I'm self-conscious being this big anyway.
That's what she said.
That's exactly.
Okay, so do that. And up. Come on. Don't do that. Come on.
It's close enough.
Why is no, it's got to be perfect. Come on, you know me. Are you kidding me? You think that's ever going to fly with me?
No.
Come on. I remember when somebody said that, but like, come on, Matt, just let it go. No. Never. All right, let's get this thing open. Oh, I'm so excited. So, folks, this is from October.
Oh, it's way off.
So this isn't a land far, far away, folks. So you need to be aware of this. So before we're sitting here and saying, "Oh, Matt, haven't you heard about Ray Epps?" Hey, Matt, do you ever do any investigation on January 6th? Hey, Matt, you're just a rhino, doesn't know what he's talking about. Here you go. This is for you. This is for you. Let me change this window so it stops. We can get it bigger. Let's see. Square. And do it like that. All right, there we go. All right, ready? Here we go. Enjoy. Who is Ray Epps? He is from Arizona. I know his address, his work history, his relatives, and his criminal record. I also discovered his purported ties to the Oath Keepers, a militant group that is considered to be ultra-right-wing extremists. The media has reported this ad nauseum that their leader took orders from Trump directly through the social media on January 6th. He was in Washington, D.C. on January 6th. He has not been arrested. He is not under investigation. Here is the video proof of him instigating and recruiting people to enter the U.S. Capitol. You will also see that several groups resist his pleas and also accuse him of being a Fed.
I know. In fact, tomorrow, I don't even like to say it because I'll be arrested. Well, let's not say it. We need to go, I'll say it. All right. We need to go in to the Capitol. Let's go! I'm going to put it out there. I'm probably going to go to jail for it, okay? Tomorrow, we need to go into the Capitol. Into the Capitol. Peacefully. Fed. Peacefully. Okay, folks, grab the word. As soon as the president's done speaking, we go to the Capitol. The Capitol's this direction. Start speaking. We are going to the Capitol, where our problems are. It's that direction. He spread the word.
Oh, yeah, it looks real peaceful, huh, guys? How peaceful does that look? The Attorney General, Merrick Garland, is quoted as saying, "We begin with the people on the ground and we work our way up to those who are involved and further involved, and we will pursue these leads wherever they take us." Well, this evidence is not being seen by the public, even though several Oath Keepers have been arrested. Why not this man? Why does Merrick Garland say that this investigation is one of the most broad sweeping in U.S. history, yet a key instigator in this supposed insurrection hasn't been charged at all? The leader of the Oath Keepers tweeted prior to January 6, Trump said, "It's gonna be wild." I found this man in a matter of minutes. Why can't the federal government? So this was a long time ago, folks, and this was before anyone else was doing this shit. Because I got that from, I got it from somebody else. And I got the video, and my first reaction was, what in the name of Cthulhu is going on here? So don't tell me that I haven't researched January 6th. I also did a video 12 hours after Ashley Babbitt was killed, where I literally was holding back tears because a veteran was shot. And then the next night, I took the other side of it and explained why she should never have been there to begin with. Do you understand that myopic thinking means seeing things through almost a childlike mentality's eyes? There are multiple things about January 6th that you can dislike and you can defend. Mm-hmm. But if you're sitting there and defending everything and saying it was a setup, how? Please explain to me how anyone can control another person to break the law. I understand you can instigate. I understand you can motivate. I understand that's how gang rape happens. People sometimes feel forced in situations and do things that they don't want to do. Should gang rapists then be let go? No. They should be in jail for the rest of their life if that's what's necessary to get them to never do it again. I don't care if the FBI was there. I don't care if Antifa was there. That's a whole nother conversation. The people who participated, not in going into the halls, not in the people who fired some fire extinguishers off and went into Nancy Pelosi's office. I don't care. That's a misdemeanor charge. Get them for trespassing, write them a ticket, have them do a misdemeanor 1, have them spend some time in jail, whatever. I'm talking about the people on those stairs who threatened the lives of those Capitol policemen, that repeatedly said, we're not here for you, but if you don't move out of the fucking way, I can't protect you. We're here for them. I can't go ahead and defend those people. I can't defend the people who are breaking glass and breaking doors and trying to get in to where the legislative body was. You have seen video footage from Fox News and Newsmax, and that's fine. I've seen the same videos. But I've also seen the videos from CNN and MSNBC, which most assuredly show a very different story than they were there for just a tourist group. January 6th was violent. No officers died that day from January 6th. And anyone that says that they did, they're lying. But anyone that says that Ashley Babbitt was innocent and they just shot her for no reason, you haven't watched the entry video. You haven't seen the multiple angles. You haven't heard the mic and heard what they said to the Capitol Police. And until you do, I highly recommend you show a little bit of restraint. Because I've seen every video that's available. I've spoken to 3 Capitol Police officers personally. I've had fans of Don't Unfriend Me who were there that night, who were texting me and telling me what was going on. I was 7 miles from it and drove by DC and saw the National Guard shut down the freeway. And I almost didn't go home because they almost locked down the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I understand everybody. I understand your frustration. But to sit here and say that this thing was a peaceful protest, you sound just like liberals.
Right. Yeah. And just to answer a question from Carl, he was asking.
No. Wait, real quick. Debbie, I didn't ask how people are controlled. I said why. And why do you think that you can control a human being and have them do something? There is a choice. There is a choice. And you can either go home or you can commit a crime. Why are you forgiving that? And this isn't a mandate. This isn't telling somebody to wear a mask. This isn't telling someone to go ahead and get car insurance. Those things aren't against the law. Breaking and entering, trespassing, violence, assault, death threats. Those things are against the law. You are absolutely mixing up apples and oranges. Why is it so hard for people to say that January 6th should never have happened, that we are embarrassed to even be associated with it? Why can't we say that? I don't understand. Go ahead, Amy. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, I was just someone, I think it was Carl, and I've lost it. I'm trying to keep up with the comments now, but he was asking if he can come. I don't know if he was asking if he can come on video chat live, but yes, you can come on. You can come on video with us. It was Carl something.
Carl, you want to come on video chat? Click the link. Here, I'll put it in here.
Yeah.
Larry, Larry says, if a small girl entered my house and I shot her, I would go to jail for the rest of your life. That's not true. That's a lie.
Not if she wasn't. If you
shoot her 6 times, if you use unreasonable force. Ashley Babbitt was shot 1 time. Yep. Once. She was repeatedly warned not to enter. She had a gun pointed at her for 12 seconds. And the moment that she breached that window, that person did their job. Their job was to protect and defend the people in that hallway and that anteroom chamber. They executed their mission. So what you're saying is that person was violating, trespassing, and wanted to cause harm to others. And you're telling me that police officer should have allowed her to enter, and then a second, and then a third, and then a fourth, and then a fifth. And then when they go ahead and take his weapon and kill him or take him hostage or don't do anything, that he's somehow supposed to know that? We've had this conversation. You were wrong then, you're wrong now, Larry.
Yeah. Yeah.
If anybody wants to come on, come on.
Yeah. Somebody else said, and I've never heard this, so I don't know if it's true or not, and maybe you've heard it or not, but Frederick says that the guy videotaping Ashley was a known Antifa affiliate. I mean, there were several videos of her.
How does that change any? Even if that's true, who cares? What is that? Does anyone doubt that Ashley Babbitt was a fervent Trump supporter and supporter of Q? Are you going to sit here and tell me that is not 100% accurate? Then it doesn't matter because she's not Antifa. Matt, did you see what happened in the tunnel Why is no one talking about that? No one talks about anything like that. All they talk about, it was peaceful and everyone was singing Kumbaya and the shaman. That's not what happened. Right. That's some of what happened, but you're only responding to half. I'm not going to play the video again. I've already done this. I've already done this 100 times. There is no excuse for what took place. None. How can anyone defend it?
Wait a minute. Yes, because Susie says she did not deserve it. She had no weapon.
No, Tina. The full name is not QAnon. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Right.
It's two separate groups. The media put them together. Forget. I can't do this anymore. Yeah. This is why you don't educate, because people don't listen. Call into the show. Just call in and say, this is what I'm thinking. Where am I? Am I right or am I wrong? Yeah. And I might not have the answer. But what I'm not going to do is let you sit here and just keep spinning the wheels. Go ahead, Amy. I'm sorry.
No, I was just reading a comment that Susie said she did not deserve it. She had no weapon, assuming she's talking about Ashley Babbitt. But They had no way of knowing she was armed or not. And just like if someone's coming into your home and you're like, stop, I'm armed. And if you keep coming, I'm going to shoot you. And they still keep coming and you're like, stop, I'm going to shoot you. And they repeat themselves several times and then they keep coming. You might shoot them, I'm assuming. Oh, man.
It's so ridiculous.
And you wouldn't know if they had a weapon or not.
Joe Ellis, you should come on the show. You should come on the show and tell me that. Talk about an emotional fucking turd. Fuck you. Ashley Babbitt was murdered. Murdered? Murdered. So George Floyd was murdered too?
Golly, I don't want to have that conversation.
Michael Brown was murdered? Trayvon Martin was murdered, huh? You really want to do this, man? You really want to fucking do this? She was breaking the law, and that man. So if someone takes a shot at the president and the Secret Service goes ahead and returns fire, they executed their job. Is that correct? If a person takes a token on the bus and drops them off at their station, they're doing their job, correct? If a butcher carves you a fucking couple ribeyes and some ground round, they're doing their job, right? Well, then when a Capitol Police officer who is there to defend a sector of the building and you break in where you have no business being, when there are freaking chairs lined up and lodged in, doors are locked, and they are saying, do not pass, this is the last line, and then that officer is charged with making sure nobody comes in, and they do, you're going to call it murder? You're fucking kidding me. And now you start bringing up other deflective arguments. No one is saying it was peaceful, but there is people still in jail with no bond. Of course, and you just walked into the middle of the conversation because I just defended that and said that people need to get them out. Then there should be death threats at this point, not to mention the 2020 election was rigged. Fuck you, dude. You're a complete twat. You're a twat. Whatever. Call in, have a pair of balls. Yeah. Don't sit there and snipe and text. Pick up the phone and say what you want to say. Come on.
He won't call in. They never call in.
They never call in. They're just
never call in.
Local druggers. There were other officers that could have been shot by that officer.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, and if my grandmother had balls, she would be my grandfather. It's a trained guy. The guy puts 30,000 rounds down range every freaking quarter. What do you want?
I'm just so surprised she did nothing wrong. Like there's I can't imagine. Okay, the people who are saying that
Fuck you, Joe. You're such a pussy.
Yeah.
Oh God. I don't understand these people. I didn't say she deserved to die. I said she shouldn't have been there and this wouldn't have happened. You shouldn't have Dude, if you would have went into any of the skiffs that I worked in, you would have been shot on sight. Why do you think it's any different in a Capitol building? It was a secured location. You're not supposed to go in. So what was that officer supposed to do? You're telling me that if you were a cop and your job was to stop them from breaching that door, that you would let them all in, huh? And you would continue to let them in. You're an idiot.
Am I remembering incorrectly? Because I remember watching the video with you. Maybe I'm not remembering accurately. But
sure,
couldn't we hear the officers on the other side of the door telling them to not
you could hear. Yes, right. You could hear two officers down the hall, and then the three officers that they basically threatened, and the SWAT team came in and said, move. You're going to get hurt. They're going to hurt you. They pulled those Capitol Police officers who they were threatening their lives. One guy was like, stop. We're not here for them. We support the police. And then he turned around and he said, guys, you got to move. I can't stop them. I can't promise your safety. They're not here for you, but they are going to go ahead and get you out of the way. You're going to get hurt. You got to get out of the way. And then they left and the SWAT team came up. That's when Ashley went in.
Mm-hmm.
And once she breached, he didn't fire through the door. He didn't fire through the glass. The moment she came in and breached that area, he fired one shot. Why can't you just say it is an impossible situation? That we don't have to celebrate what happened to her because it sucks. She's an Air Force veteran. It sucks. But maybe, just maybe, if she wouldn't have done what she did, this wouldn't have happened. Have you ever thought of that? Or do you just blame everybody else for everyone else's indiscretions and inequities? Please.
I'm not sure. I feel like most of the chat right now, from what I'm reading, was not around or did not see the show that we did on that, where we aired the footage. We aired the good, the bad, the ugly, and we went into detail about Ashley Babbitt, because a lot of things they're saying, I remember seeing it,
Oh yeah, they're unaware.
Like,
and ignorance is bliss. But instead of listening to somebody or coming on and having a conversation, now they're like, Floyd was a doper. Who cares? I agree with you. I completely agree with you. He had enough fentanyl in his system. He put a knife to a woman's belly. All these things. I agree with you 120%. Michael Brown, Trayvon Martin. We can go on and on and on. Why is that okay? Why do you say, oh, well, those were unarmed shootings, but those were just?
Yeah.
See, this is your problem, is that if you support the blue only when it matters, right? Only when you want to. You had no problem with the Capitol Police until January 6th. In fact, I'm sure you honored and respected that line as much as you respect the thin blue line. Why can't you admit that what happened was bullshit and should never have happened? And they put themselves in that situation. It's the difference between people who served in the military and didn't serve in the military. You just don't understand. You don't understand about protecting a line. You don't understand about security. You don't get it. That's fine. You don't have to get it. All right. Carl's in the house. Let's see what Carl wants to talk about. Oh, man. Giving me heartburn tonight, people. Just giving me heartburn. Carl, it is your, my good sir. What do you want to talk about? Can't hear you, man.
No, I'm just.
There you go. Go.
I'm following along. I'm following along.
Okay.
For right now.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. What do you want to talk about, man? You got it. I mean, listen. You called for a reason. Would love to hear what your thoughts are.
I don't want to misquote this, right? But use of force, whatever, has to be objectively reasonable. I think it's Graham versus Connor, right? Goes back to the whole violent, fleeing, felon, use of force, that whole ordeal. Mm-hmm. So in the case of Ashley Babbitt, yep, right, the use of force has to be proportional to the threat that's presented. Now, I would never say that she's in the right. Absolutely. I would not say that, okay? Now, in the law enforcement world, there's a use of force continuum. Mm-hmm. There are other options available, right? You've got capstun or pepper spray. You've got tasers, this, that, or the other.
Right.
My question is, given the facts and circumstances surrounding that particular incident, right, where you've got someone, there's no threat per se, other than her presence. Like, there's an argument to be made, in my opinion, that just her mere presence then is a threat in and of itself, right? Okay. Given the circumstances, okay?
Okay.
But with that in mind, is it reasonable that the lowest level of force, or the most reasonable level of force that could have been used in that instance, was a firearm, right?
Hold on. Elizabeth, you can here, I'll mute her. Go ahead.
Just in that instance, and there's case law that supports you don't have to use the lowest level of force, okay? It just has to be proportional to the threat that's presented.
Correct.
And in this instance, you have and not that sex matters, right, or any of that. You've got
Right.
120-pound female crawling through a window. Okay.
Yep, you sure do.
Based on everything that we now know, was the use of deadly force justified? And
Yes.
that's something that, and okay, so what is your rationale for that is my question.
Sure, because Capitol Police are not civilian police.
Because they're
They are
federal?
government. They're a federal and government entity. So if you go onto the Rocky Flats Mountain nuclear plant and you walk out, you'll be killed immediately. Whether you're 12 years old, whether you're 47, whether you're 56, if you breach that area in Colorado, you're going to be shot.
Right,
There
so
are certain, if you go up to
145.
Mount Weather, the same thing will happen. If you breach Mount Weather, you'll be killed immediately. There are places in the United States government that are ran by the federal government that are absolutely unequivocally not to be crossed.
Is there any case?
It doesn't matter what
listening,
case. We're not talking about what's tried. We're talking about a guy who was selected to defend from anyone gaining entrance. There were barricades. There were 3 other officers there. There was open communication that this was not to be breached. It was a absolute quarantine, qualified, secure, compartmentalized area. The moment that she broke through that, do you think that officer is worried about 120-pound Ashley Babbitt? I don't think he would. I think he would take her down. I think he's worried about the 150 other people that could have come through that door at any minute, and he is going to get trampled, stomped, killed, have his firearm taken, whatever. And his job is to defend. That was his instruction. He had the right to defend it, and he did.
Yeah. And you don't know if she was wearing like a body bomb. Like people do crazy shit.
don't know.
You don't know. And they're trained to act on dead. Like they are trained for imminent, like, what's it called? Imminent. What's it called? What's the word? Like imminent, like when you're going to die. Like they're trained to act as if they have to assume everyone's going to kill the president or kill anyone in the government offices. That's how they're trained to act. They don't care if she's a woman. They don't care if she's a man. They don't care if she weighs 10 pounds or 300 pounds. She's breaking into a place. She was told, and you can hear it on the videos that I've seen,
hundreds of times.
Stop. And she didn't. And it's unfortunate and it's sad, but it doesn't change the facts.
So Carl, hold on a second. And then I want to have Elizabeth talk. First of all, I appreciate the level of respect.
Yeah.
And you're an honest and very thoughtful question that is very well articulated and laid out. And I'm not shooting you down. I understand the moral dilemma in this question, but I'm going to tell you, for a person who has stood guard duty, for a person who has protected skiffs, from a person who has carried a briefcase on their wrist with a 45 under their arm, I have been in the position many times to shoot on sight in a certain situation where somebody tries to enter or somebody tries to accost me or whatever. This is a government employee. He is a federal employee. He is not a civilian. He was ordered to defend. He did his job. But you're fast forwarding into something. You're putting Ashley Babbitt there like the conception of Jesus, that it was immaculate, that it just happened. She just showed up into that window and then they shot her. You're not rewinding enough to see where they smashed it repeatedly. And it was wired, reinforced glass. Doors were beaten. They had to break it in order to enter. And they did it for over 10 minutes while threatening police officers' lives with harmful intent. And they were open squawked on a hot mic where everyone could hear it. All those Capitol Police officers could hear what was being said. That's why SWAT got there a little too late.
Right.
So my point is this: you can stop a 120-pound girl, but when she grabs onto your leg and then one more guy comes through and then another, you have to make a choice. And in my instance, I hate to say it. I would have shot. One shot, and I would have sent a clear message. And honestly, it stopped more people from dying. And you can say it didn't, but it did. Everyone was like, fuck this, we're not going in there again. And unfortunately, that's what needed to happen to make that happen. That's my opinion. Okay, real quick. Let's have Elizabeth say something, and then Carl, I'm going to give you another round. Go ahead.
Okay, what I'd like to look at, am I unmuted or can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, you're good. You were just making some noise, so I muted you up until you were done.
No problem. The one thing that I am looking at is, of course, I come from a military background with my dad, and of course, I was in ROTC. And one of the things I was wondering is in combat, because I hate to put it this way, whenever the insurrection took place, I kind of looked at that as a combat zone because they have to defend themselves. It's just like whenever my dad was in Vietnam or any of the other wars. Yes, we don't want to kill anybody.
Correct.
But at the same time, we need to make sure that we do protect and defend what we're supposed to have defended. My dad said that even at that point, in Vietnam, they would put children underneath the gates. And whenever the gates took place, whenever the children were put under the gates, they would be feeding them like maybe candy bars and stuff like that. And the children were sent with grenades to blow them up.
Yeah,
and I kind of look at this in the same kind of way that Abbott knew better. She entered in, and she was a veteran, but she was going against the her protocol, what she was supposed to be doing, and she turned on her own country. She was a traitor at that point, in my opinion.
And I think that's, and I appreciate. Well, hold on, I appreciate you saying my opinion, and I never argue with anyone who has an opinion. I think that's fine for you to think that. I think she was a victim of some very, very horrible and destructive misinformation that people made money off of, and she believed. I think her mental state also put her in a situation. There's been conversations of PTS. She was taken advantage of. I don't believe she deserved to die, but I don't consider her emotional situation, because I'm going to read you something. And David Crocker, who I don't know at all, looks like he spent some time in the Army with Cav. He just summed it up, and he is basically saying the same thing I am. So I'm going to read it. And I read dissenting opinion on me all the time. After serving for almost 40 years in the military, 3 branches, and having served as the command and control facility superintendent for 23 years, holding a top secret clearance and setting up various SCIFs, which is what I just mentioned, both stateside and Afghanistan, I assure you, if someone crossed that designated line, no one is going to take the time to try and figure out who or what or why a person crosses that line. I wrote classified area guidelines and checklists, and so have I. I'm only talking from experience, and I'm only talking from an operational security and OPSEC perspective. She crossed a line that was uncrossable and was warned hundreds of times, and it cost her life. And whether you understand that or agree with it, it matters not to me, because those are the facts, the unequivocal facts. And I'm not talking to you, Carl, because I think your argument is just. Carl, go ahead. You've waited patiently. Please go ahead.
No. There are a lot of differences between the way things happen kind of on the federal side versus on the civilian side, right? From like use of force and those things. And on those topics, I'm pretty savvy at what I'm talking about. And
you seem it.
Like,
you seem it.
I have a handful of questions that I'd like to link up with you probably off the air at some point to round
I'd love to
table.
do it now, man. You're an interesting cat. Can you ask me a couple? Because dude, people don't call in and have a conversation. They say fuck you and they sling arrows, but when they get on, it's always nice and calm and easy, because I'm going to treat you like a troll when we troll, right? I mean, that's Facebook. But when you get on face to face, there's a very different level of conversation that takes place, because I can see you and you can see me. So throw me a couple. What do you got?
Okay. Is there what I'm having a hard time rationalizing? Like, is there any substantive basis, like any basis in law that justifies the use of force, and in that scenario. And the part two of that, it's my understanding she was trying to enter the chamber, okay, and the chamber and a skiff are two separate areas, unless I'm misunderstanding.
No, it's a secured, compartmentalized. You're talking about an intelligence space, which is quarantined under lock and key, several security measures, electronic intelligence measures to stop anyone from gaining entrance or sight from a radent, from an intel, from a human standpoint, right? That's a skiff. I spent my whole life in the military in skiffs. Joint intelligence centers are the same thing, which is a JIC. It's the same way. Operation Command Control in an aircraft carrier, or if you're in NORAD, it's all the same thing. I want you to think of it differently. It's not the level of security that's important. It's that it is a barricaded last line of defense to do what their objective order is, which is to protect the United States government and the people within with their own lives, if necessary, from all enemies, foreign and domestic. They take the same oath that I did, and I don't know if you did. You look like a military guy or have military family. But that oath is taken very, very seriously. The moment that they crossed that barricaded area, and it was on lockdown, magnetic doors closed, fire doors closed, chains were put on the door. They had an entire wall of chairs and tables and flagpoles even blocking the door. It looked like literally zombie apocalypse. And they still encroached upon that area. That was the last line. And it doesn't matter who came through. If the standing order was this from a superior officer, if anyone breaches this door, you fire. Period. And that's the same thing for the White House, man. You can't go into the White House. You can't go run on White House grounds. Now, if you are just an idiot who hops the fence, more than likely you're going to get tased, you're going to get tackled, and a PR-24 to the back of your frickin' noggin.
Or you might get bit if you're lucky.
Or a bit, right. There's launch a canine. There's also 1,000 Marines under there too, ready to rock and roll. But if you have a weapon, the snipers are going to take you out before you even take 5 steps. You're going to get lit up by 3 or 4 rounds right into your chest. Guaranteed, with no questions asked. If you brandish a knife or a gun, they will shoot and ask questions later. The same thing. I understand Ashley Babbitt didn't have a weapon. The weapon was the amount of people. The weapon was the amount of people who could have come through that area. And people are saying, well, another man couldn't fit through that area. Bullshit. She had a full backpack on. Mm-hmm. They would have got in. Because all she had to do was grab that officer. All she had to do was let somebody else in. Maybe throw a chair at him. It doesn't matter. Maybe she had a pipe bomb. We don't know. And either did the officer. That is the argument. I'm not defending taking an unarmed woman's life. I'm defending that he had a standing order and he executed that order. That's my argument.
Yeah.
I respect your argument. I don't know.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you, Carl. What would you have liked him to do? What would you have liked to seen him do that would have been more, not effective, but would have appeased you?
What would I have done? I would have sprayed her with Capstun.
Okay. Did he have it on him?
That's not my problem.
No, it is your problem because you can't. Right. What if you say, I wish he had a Flash Gordon taser gun? Well, it's not real and it doesn't exist. Did he have any other secondary non-lethal system to apply to her at that time?
Okay,
at that point in time, like, so you're getting into like procedural problems, right? Like, why was he in a position, right? Why was he there without any other options in terms of the use of force continuum, or however it's normally phrased?
You keep using civilian terms. This isn't a civilian shooting. This is a governmental shooting. This is a federal shooting. There are different rules, there are different regulations, and there are different orders. The civilian population and its police force, state police force, whatever, or constables are designed to protect and to serve. The Capitol Police, their job is to protect. There is no service. If you break the law, if you cross a boundary, if you move forward with intent to harm, you will be stopped at all cost and by any means necessary. That is the standing order. They are not there for you. They are there to protect SCOTUS, FLOTUS, POTUS, and everyone up and down and in between. That's their job. And that's why I'm telling you, people need to change their mindset and look at this from a federal perspective. Now, if you ask me, was she a threat? Yes. Because I don't do hypothetical. You don't know what she had. I don't know what she had. Now, in hindsight, we do, and that's easy. We can cast stones all we want. But in that moment, she breached a secure area. It's just that simple. Could he have tased her? I don't know. Could he have pepper sprayed? Would I have? No, I would have shot her.
Yeah. I mean, it's your life or theirs, right?
That's it.
So I would, without going high into the right or whatever.
Yeah, you're fine.
What I'd like to see is what there is that supports your stance on that use of force being justified. Like, I'd like to see it in writing of some sort. I'd like to see like what the SOP is.
Sure.
Like
I'll show you right now. What branch did you serve in?
I did not.
You sound like it. Your dad a cop?
Hmm?
Father, police officer, military in your family, Eagle Scout, something?
Nope.
Can I ask a question to Carl, right? It's Carl?
Yes.
Sorry. Have you ever I've never served in the military. My dad did, but I don't even know if I was alive. Probably not. And have you ever worked with someone or been to a training with someone or just watched military or police training on how they deal with these high pressure situations and what their protocols are? Because there's very different protocols for different situations. And I've never served, but, and I'm not a police officer. I'd support all of the people who serve our nation in any capacity. I know very little, but I know enough to know that these people are putting their lives on the line, but they're signing up to protect something or someone or a collective amount of people. But it doesn't mean they're going to give up their lives. They don't know what they're up against, and they are trained in a way. And trust me, they train all the time. We have some of the top training facilities in the nation. The military and government officials actually train in some of our county's training facilities. I've gotten to tour them. I've gotten to be a part of some of the civilian trainings there. And so I'm slightly familiar, but not fully familiar because I don't have a clearance. I don't have government anything. But I know enough, and they are trained in a specific way. And I believe that these people acted in the way that they were trained to do, because this wasn't, oh my gosh, we don't know what to do. This has never happened before. Just shoot her. This was if this situation ever arises, and believe me, they have thousands of books that they have to memorize and go through. And here's the protocol for this. And here's the protocol for this. And if they say this word, this is how you react.
Yeah.
And if they bring this out, this is how you react. And if they turn their body this way, this is how they react. And they have to memorize all of these things. And they are tested on it over and over and over. And these people are the best of the best. They're not like, oh, you miss a point, you get to still pass through. No, if you miss a
Capitol
point,
Police don't fuck around.
Yeah, they know what they're supposed to do. There's no mistakes. They know what they're supposed to do in every situation.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I just want to answer this question because it's important. So May 20th, 2022, a new order came out from the Attorney General, and this was in direct relation to the shooting of Ashley Babbitt. And although the standing order was exactly the same and nothing has been changed, they've added de-escalation tactics in certain situations, except for in the following. This is what you're looking for. Deadly force should not be used against persons whose actions are only if they are a threat solely to themselves or property, should not be used. Unless an individual poses an imminent danger or death or serious physical injury to the officer or others in any close proximity. There it is.
That it sounds like it's based directly on Graham versus Connor.
It is Graham versus Connor, and it's also directly at the officer's discretion if the following was not followed. And that is for all DOD and DOJ personnel in a capacity of serving as a law enforcement officer or some sort of constable or et cetera, sheriff, whatever. But predominantly also Capitol Police. That's federal law. If they're a threat to themselves, which suiciders have been on Washington grounds and they don't fire on them, or if they're, a threat to physical property, the moment, and notice that when she was breaking the door and the glass down, they didn't shoot her then. That's physical property. The moment that she became a threat into proximity, it doesn't say lethal threat. It doesn't say brandish a weapon. It says a threat. And a threat is defined that officer believes he's not going to go home that night, which he wouldn't have if he would have let them all in. I'm telling you right now. Those people, those 150, were there for blood. We know this.
I get your perspective, right? And I respect it. But from the renewed SOP or whatever that you read out, it's no different than the standard use of force continuum, if you will, right?
Okay.
It has to be objectively reasonable.
It is.
And there's nothing about shooting an unarmed
It doesn't say that.
120-pound girl.
No,
Well,
it says, yes, it does. It says lethal force. What do you think lethal force means? Define lethal force to me.
hold on, I'm sorry. Can you rephrase what you just said for me, please?
Can you please define lethal force for me?
The level of force used has
lethal
to be
force. Define lethal force. I'm not asking you when to use it. I'm asking you to define lethal force, please.
Lethal force is technically it's deadly force, right?
Yeah, it's taking a life.
Right. Well, deadly force can be. It doesn't have to be a firearm. Okay, you can an asp baton. You can
do a lot of things.
Can be deadly force, right?
You can do a lot of things. It doesn't say deadly force. It says lethal. Lethal is the ending of something. It's lethality. It doesn't say deadly force. Deadly force leaves an open area for using something that could be deadly. Lethal means you're dead. It's lethality. It's the end. That's what it means. So when you say lethal force, they are authorized if there is an imminent proximity threat to them or someone else. Lethal force is authorized. That is now, and that was then.
And your stance is this 120-pound female coming through a window justified lethal force.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is, I'm not the trollish type, right? This is kind of one of those things that, no, I'm just, so we're on the same page.
Sure.
I respectfully disagree with your stance. This is the kind of thing we will not agree on.
Okay. Have you ever been in the situation where you've had to secure the sanctity of human life before?
Yes.
How?
I have.
It's not top secret, bro. And trust me, anything you're going to tell me, if you weren't in the military and you weren't in the police, that you can tell me. Is it you don't want to share, or you can't?
It is.
Okay.
No, it's just that I prefer not to.
So let me rephrase the question. In a professional professional situation, have you been charged with protecting human life?
Yes.
In a professional standpoint?
Yes.
Well, then now you're being deceptive. And now I'm done with our conversation. Because you just told me you served not in the police and not in any government force and didn't work for the government, but you're saying from a professional standpoint, unless you're a bodyguard.
So just for the sake of perspective,
okay.
I told you there are certain things I'd like to discuss with you, probably off the air initially, at least.
Okay, that's fine. All right, let's assume that you've been charged. Then you're telling me that if your job is to protect life, that you are going to make split decisions with a mob of 150 people who are making physical threats,
Thank you.
beating down a door that you are supposed to stop, and you have a choice. If you let one in, that person can get a hold of you, gun, doesn't matter, could have any type of weapon. And your job, you're going to ignore your standing order, which is to eliminate any threat in the proximity to you or that is directed at you, and you're going to disobey a direct order?
Well, no.
Okay, well, then you would have
Let
shot
me
her.
qualify that. No,
You can't.
I wouldn't have.
It's either a yes or a no, bro. Are you going to break an order or not? You're either going to break the order or you're not going to break the order, because you've been told to use lethal force if this happens. Not kindness, not love, not a flower, not chocolates. You have been instructed to end the life of the person who is in proximity to you or directly threatening you. It's a yes or a no. Are you going to disobey an order, or are you going to do what you're told?
So you cannot, well, I guess you can technically order someone to kill someone else.
It's called the military.
Well, they call stop the threat. It's stop the threat.
Can I say something?
Sometimes it takes a life.
Yes. Go ahead, Elizabeth. I'm sorry. And Amy, you come back to, sorry.
My question, because one of the things that you could be charged to protect that was not mentioned is an educator, a teacher, because every day you go into that classroom and you hope to God that nobody brings a weapon or something that's
Sure.
going to hurt the other students.
Sure.
Now, my question is do you feel that if you're going to protect that child or protect the one that you're supposed to be guarding, and that you have to make a split decision between whether that child dies or that adult dies, who do you choose? Who are you going to choose at that split decision? And all you have is like maybe a stapler. I hate to put it this way, you can't kill with
because
staplers.
that's all a lot of those kids have.
Right.
Yeah. So who do you kill? Who are you going to kill, and what decision are you going to make to protect that classroom? Because I'm going to tell you that a lot of I've actually been put in that position in a behavior improvement class. I had a 5-year-old that tried to that brought a gun to class with bullets, and I had to make a split decision. Of course, I didn't have to kill anybody at the end of the day, but that child ended up having some issues. That child had to go to juvenile. He was only kindergarten. Now, who do you protect? Do you protect the rest of those students, or do you? How do you calm that situation down? What choice do you make?
Listen. Reflective dissonance is really simple to do. Okay, until you have been in that position, you're asking somebody to go against their training and their mission objective, and they have a standing order. And that standing order is to defend the lives. Now, Carl, are you, I don't want to get personal. Are you married? Do you have kids? Do you mind if I ask? Okay. Now, I want you to give me a chance here. And we're just going to play a little hypothetical. Okay. You're in a grocery store and a riot breaks out. Black Lives Matter. They come in, they want to tell everything. Or it's a bunch of idiot freaking ultra right. Somehow there's a white sale on sheets on aisle 6. Okay. And you and your daughter are in that building and you have to go and barricade yourself. You have a daughter or a son?
Daughter.
Okay. Yeah, that's even more important. So you'll get, and I'm sorry, I hate hypotheticals, but this one's relevant. And you barricade yourself and you have 6 shots because you're carrying a concealed carry and you didn't get the extended clip and the extended mag, and you didn't get the additional clip expander on the bottom of your mag. So I did not call a magazine a clip.
I was going to get you if you didn't get yourself.
I know you weren't. I said a clip extender. Thank you. So you don't have your 14, you got 6, and you don't have a backup mag, and you've got 40 people there. And they're coming in, and 120-pound girl's there, but behind her are another 50 people with bats and, whatever, or fire extinguishers or flag poles or just their hands. You're going to tell me that you're not going to pop one round off? And you're not going to put that person down?
That's not an apples to apples comparison.
Sure it is.
At all.
Why isn't it?
Absolutely not.
Why isn't
because
it?
Because you're talking about, right? You're talking about an on-duty police officer operating in their official capacity versus me and my child in a grocery store.
You don't think that okay, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
I'm trying.
An on-duty listen, bro. You have more of a reason to fire than any other person. That is your daughter,
right?
And you're sworn to protect her. Those guys. You don't think that these guys, these body men, don't care about their position? They don't care about the people who they're sworn to protect. Dude, I don't understand. Do you think that mob was going to do anything? Do you think they were just going to be benign?
No.
Okay, then why are you arguing this point? They were going to grab anyone they could and zip tie them and hold them hostage. They were going to grab Nancy Pelosi. How do you know they weren't going to slit her throat? You don't know. You don't have that luxury in a real-time situation, brother, to litigate the case. You go back on training, and the training says shoot, kill. That's it, period. I don't know what else to say. I understand where you're coming from. I think it's very fucking
without going. Just so we're clear, okay? Yeah. You and I are on the same page. The people that were there being however they were being is not okay. You and I can agree on that 100%. Okay.
Sure. Of course.
And so when I think about this, from a standpoint of like problem identification and analysis, okay, I'm like, how did we get here, right? And then I know you know where I'm going with this. No,
I don't.
When the information is okay, so you know the guy that was the former Capitol Police Chief put out a book, right?
Yep.
And I've gone through some of the excerpts of it, right? Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of information that wasn't conveyed to them, okay? And like the president requesting the National Guard and it being denied due to optics, okay? I'm not, there's causation and that whole thing.
I want to be clear, we're shifting gears now, right?
Like how did we get here?
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you how we got here.
That's my deeply
Sure. Let's talk about it. Sorry, I thought it was a question. Go ahead.
We know, or the intelligence agencies knew that there was the potential for violence, right?
No. No. You're not accurately stating the correct thing. There were groups and threats that were on the watch list, and there were rumblings. But like everything that the intelligence community does, especially the alphabet agencies, there is a very large disconnect between certain entities of the government working together. FBI and Capitol Police and CIA, ONI, DNS, Department of Homeland Security, Border Patrol, et cetera, Secret Service. Very rarely are they communicating at a high enough level. If Leroy and I was here, we would both tell you the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. What you know and what you can disseminate and properly convey are two different things. I will tell you that, yes, there were open threats. Now, but there was a lot to unpack there. You mentioned Donald Trump. Please tell me the actual written order that his administration passed on to the governor, or actually mayor of District of Columbia. Please tell me which order was written, because that has to be done by request.
It was written, and it was denied. Yes, it was.
No, it was not. Donald Trump even admitted it wasn't written. Mm-hmm. It was a verbal. He even said it was verbal. It wasn't written. There was no order. And if you can show me that order, I'll give you $10,000. I'm not. Look at me, kiddo. I'll give you $10,000.
Okay.
Go get me a certified copy with an EO or with a formal request. And I want letterhead. I want a serial number based upon that. I want the presidential seal on it. And I want it received by the office of Washington, D.C. of the mayor's office. You do those things for me, I'll give you $10,000 cash. And I swear on my children's lives, I'll give you $10,000 cash.
Aside from that, can we agree that the request was made? Or are you?
No,
are you of the
no,
stance,
it was not. No, because a verbal request is not. The president of the United States is
verbal
not allowed.
request
Hold on,
is
I'm going to
not-
answer your question, bro. I'm going to answer your question. The National Guard cannot be leveraged by the president without the state's governor or mayor pursuant to, based upon a district or a state, without written authorization, unless being used in an emergency power or in civil unrest. I love you. In the sense of that he would then overthrow with another National Guard or military that state's National Guard. But he has absolutely no power without formal request. And a formal request must be pursuant and to in writing. It is not a verbal. Just like he can't unclass, compartmentalize, and top secret documents verbally, but he can do it with confidential or secret documents. He can do it verbally. Very big difference. One requires the DOJ to blackline and to go ahead and redact information, and it has to be passed through an intelligence agency with the DOJ. One does not. But the President of the United States can't say, I want the National Guard of Washington, D.C. He cannot do that and expect any results.
Just so my understanding is correct, the president cannot activate the National Guard in D.C., right? He can.
Without martial
He
law.
has to. Okay. Aside from that, he can make the request, but ultimately, the mayor or whatever has to pull that trigger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. After a form. No, they don't. No, they don't. In DC, he has to formally request because it's not a state. There is no governor, but you have a mayor that is in charge of distributing the National Guard. He has to formally request that, whether it's a governor or whether it's a mayor, in writing. And that's my point. Unless he declares martial law. That's a completely different story.
The mayor can deploy the National Guard without his permission, yes?
That's the trick. Not on federal land.
But the National Guard, when did they come in? When were they?
You can't
here?
send the
When were
National
they?
Guard onto federal property without express permission from the federal government. It works both ways.
When
I'm
did they
tracking.
deploy them out?
They deployed them. They deployed them after it was a conjoined effort between Capitol Police, FBI, and somebody said we want the National Guard. Yeah, but it wasn't right away. They deployed
The
Marines
National
from the
Guard-
White House before.
The National Guard was already there.
Yeah, I understand, but using them in that, using them and exercising them in that way, standing down and being simply stationed in an area and being executable to perform tasks are two different things.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
I
the
know
checks and balances.
that I can attest to. I'm not in that, but my friends that I'm close
Listen,
with.
man, here's my point. Even if there's this giant conspiracy, and even if, this is the problem with people who haven't worked in the government, and this isn't disrespect, because you're a fucking smart guy. Enjoy our conversation. Would love to have a beer with you, and I'm serious about that $10,000. I've challenged people many times, and I'll just give you the cash. I got no problem doing. I'll fly out to you, and I'll give you $10,000. No one's ever won, because I never make that bet unless I know. So I will tell you this. I have talked to 3 Capitol Police officers who were on the ground. I've talked to 1 sniper, Force Recon Marine, and also a MARSOC Force sniper who knows pretty much every single person who was on the ground that day. And he's been on my show. And I have talked to all 3 Capitol Police. And here is what I know. There were very, very confusing and discombobulated messaging coming from supervisors and sergeants and corporals in the Capitol Police. The standing order was that there was not going to be a riot, that there was going to be no violence, that nobody had any understanding that that could possibly happen from Republicans, because you can't name a riot that Republicans have ever done outside of maybe a Super Bowl or some bullshit in a city.
Right.
When this happened, it was complete chaos. It went from having 0 to 3,000 to 3,300 people all over the fucking place. Communications, hot mics were open. There was a lack of training. Some officers were told simply by corporals and by sergeants to open the doors up so there would be no major damage to the property. Some were told to secure areas and stand their ground. en masse, and others were told to retreat their positions and fall back. There was absolute miscommunication, and it was a complete Chinese fire drill. That's why you see some people opening doors and escorting people in and letting them in and saying, here you go, buy your leave. That's why you see some people retreating and falling back in fear. And that's why you see some people have gates literally pushed across their body and stampeded by people and thrown fire extinguishers wrapped upside their head and having mace taken away and sprayed in their face and literally smashing them in between doors and stepping on their skulls and their chest cavities. You had multiple situations of okay, holy fuck, and downright bedlam that day. And the reason why is it a major Capitol Police failure. The intelligence was not passed properly, training wasn't done effectively, and they did not feel that this was a threat. They misjudged the situation. That's what they say, and they were there.
I'm tracking. I have a hard time swallowing that, and I'm not saying you're wrong, okay? But you think about like the.
No, you're saying I would be lying if I did, and that's something if you know about me, I don't do.
Like you think about all the post 9/11 stuff, right, and all the JTTFs and all that stuff to make sure that we don't have those breakdowns in intelligence X, Y, and Z ever again. Like how. I'm following you.
Because anyone who spent any time in intelligence knows that the United States government is horrendous at predicting. And I mean, do you want to go back to Pearl Harbor? Do you want to go back to the John F. Kennedy assassination?
We'd be here all night.
Do you want to go back to Iran-Contra? Do you want to go back to the Dalai Lama? Do you want to go back to Archduke Ferdinand?
We'd have to have a lot of beer. We'd have to have a lot of beer for that.
We can talk about the Ayatollah. We can talk about Afghanistan. We can talk about Osama bin Laden. We can talk about Iraq. We can talk about Syria. We can talk about funding the Greeks, funding the Turks. We can talk about actually funding the Russian Cossacks. Brother, the United States government is a absolute kerfuffle of numerous intelligence fuck-ups. And it didn't stop. 9/11 was an intelligence snafu. The only thing that happened better with intelligence, just FYI, when it came to 9/11, was the human intelligence was put back into it. They started actually putting assets into the field to collect human intelligence because we were way too dependent on electronic intelligence. But surveillance here in the United States has been completely electronic, and they've all relied on the Patriot Act. The human intelligence gathering has been shit. It was great overseas. They didn't do it in the United States. And since January 6th, it has been boosted up and it has gotten better. But you can go from these shootings, you can go from these bombings, you go from the DC sniper. I mean, all this shit. You can't predict somebody who is going to do harm. You can only try to anticipate or learn from the mistake and put countermeasures in place so it doesn't replicate itself. That's why we've never had another plane hijacked, and we never will, because the security measures are absolutely impenetrable until somebody figures out a way to do it again. So all I can tell you is that the United States government can't keep a fucking secret to save its life. And there is no way in hell that something this large could be kept a secret. I've seen what the United States government can do, and I've seen what it can't do. And this is just, you're talking about something on a global scale. And even the stolen election, man, people are like 7 states coordinated, 35,000 some odd people, lawyers, investigators, cops, DAs, a poll watchers, supervisors. Dude.
I can't do it. Can we not do it? Don't bring up
we're
the
not going to do
election.
election. We're not going to do election. All right.
I don't have
listen.
the energy for that.
Did you just say something about Ruby Freeman? What are we talking about?
No, I didn't say anything. I can't. But by the way, so listen, I'll tell you something. Anonymity is important, but military knows military. Your verbiage and your vernacular screams military to me. Your understanding of certain things and the way you use your words says military to me. There's nothing that secret that you can't tell me you're in the military, just FYI. So if that's what it comes down to, we'll have that conversation. But I can smell a lie like a fart in a car. And I'm a pretty smart motherfucker. Just know that.
I'm tracking.
I know. And you've said tracking 3 times. So don't fucking tell me you're not military. Why don't you say full send and just really let it know? Why don't you say Charlie Mike and say LC Matt? Lima Charlie Matthew. Bravo Zulu. We'll see you later. Listen, man, I respect you. You're a smart guy. You've got great questions. I know what I would love to do with you is have you feel comfortable enough with me that you would just really tell me what you want to know.
Sure.
Because I know you think something and you want to say it, but you won't say it. And that's what I really want to hear from you, because that's something I could really understand. Do I believe that January 6th was a government conspiracy? No. Do I believe that there were FBI on the ground that day? Yes. Do I believe that there probably were Antifa there instigating? Yes.
Yeah.
But do I believe it is completely on the people who took part in that and they need to be held accountable? Yes. That's what I believe. And I'm sad that Ashley Babbitt's gone, because every time we lose a veteran, it's way too fucking many. Okay? That's my thought. All right?
I agree.
Good, man. You better call in again. You promise you will?
Yeah.
Scout's honor.
See, were you an Eagle Scout? Come on.
No, fuck no.
Aw.
They don't have beer in the Boy Scouts.
Well, they do when they're trying
nowadays.
to. When they did a few years ago when they're trying to loosen up some of the boys. It's
I
funny.
think they do nowadays. Yeah.
That was.
All right.
Sorry.
I'm out,
All right,
man.
buddy. Thanks, buddy. Good
Have
talking.
a good
Thanks for
night.
talking. Thank you.
calling in.
in
Yeah,
total
thank you.
prizes for
Thank you, buddy.
CCAN's Student Cam
like him.
documentary competition.
Smart guy.
Enter today.
Yeah. It's awesome.
All right. Listen, we got a lot of people on still. Elizabeth, I'm gonna turn this on. Elizabeth, I'm gonna give you last word.
Okay, well, the last word is that basically what I've seen is a lot of things within the atmosphere, especially like with Abbott and with a lot of these other situations. You even saw one situation that I've had to go through recently. A lot of it needs to start being people taking responsibility for themselves.
Thank God.
And for what they do. And if they don't start taking responsibility for what they do, there's going to be a lot more problems. That is what's wrong with everything. Our educational system, our political system, everything. People are not taking credit or responsibility for their own actions. And we need to start making sure that that happens.
I think it's a wonderful point. And I'm so glad you're still watching the show. I've wondered where you've been. And I'm just going to say one more thing. Just because I believe that the officer was justified in the shooting, why does that mean that I think Ashley Babbitt should have died?
Right.
Why would anyone say something so horrible, tell me to go fuck myself, because I'm saying that the officer was justified because that was their job? That was their job. That's what they were designed to do. I just don't, and I don't care. You can tell me to fuck off all day long. It happens all the time. What I care about is, why would you think so low of a human being that you would think that I have saved and worked with veterans? I haven't saved them. I've just worked with thousands of veterans to help them, that I would ever want to see a veteran die. I think Q and the Anon and the QAnon bullshit is absolutely atrocious. I think they are absolute dirtbags. I think they are just sucking the marrow out of people's lives, and people have to stop believing this shit. They have to stop believing this shit. All right?
If you guys
Appreciate
could
you.
just all understand that Matt has not been wrong. Have you ever been wrong? I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass either. I'm just I have.
Hold on. I got it. Somebody, are you humping the mic, Elizabeth? You're getting a wah wah. So it's really hard to hear. All right, Elizabeth.
No.
Yeah, it's something's. Let me try to mute you. Yeah, something's coming through. Elizabeth, I'm going to let you go so I can listen to what Amy has to say. I love you and I appreciate everything you said. It's good to have you come back. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Vote is 76, 75, 3, and 1. That's 4. It looks like he's not going to get it again. All right.
Wow.
It looks like he is not going to get it again. All right, Amy, go ahead with what you're going to say, please.
I started to say, Matt, you're always right. And I'm not trying to say that in a patronizing or like a blow smoke up your ass way, but like, if people have listened to our show long enough, Matt, really, have you ever been wrong? God, I sound like
on the show.
Oh
Yes.
my God, have you ever been wrong?
I've been wrong 2 times, and I'll tell you
okay.
what they are. In 2 years, 430 videos, over 1,000 live shows. I've been wrong exactly twice, where I've had to stop and I've had to apologize. The first one was Snake Island with Ukraine, that I said that the sailors there died, and that's what I reported because that was the news. and it was actually Ukrainian misinformation. However, I will give myself a pat on the back that I was the only organization or only show that actually walked it back and actually apologized to my audience unequivocally. Thousands of comments of, dude, that is like the most awesome thing. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Can't believe you actually own that. That wasn't your fault. And the other time is when I was asked if Vladimir Putin was going to invade. And I said the following: if he invades, he's going to be in a long lifetime war with Ukraine, and Ukraine will hold out indefinitely, especially if they get proxy weapons from the United States. However, I am not seeing that Putin is going to invade at this point. He's only amassing an eighth of his army. He doesn't have the funding, and he's pushing against winter. Then the 3 weeks after that, when he amassed 300,000 troops, immediately Leroy and I both said he's going in. This is the point. And Leroy and I completely switched. Those are the only times I've been wrong. And I went ahead and predicted every single race in 2022, how and who would win and why. And nobody believed me that Whitmer was going to win. Nobody believed me that Stacey Abrams was going to lose. Nobody believed me when I said Carrie Lake was going to lose, and whatever. So there it is. There's the truth. Oh, 3 times. It is illegal in Virginia when it comes to verbal abuse. No, it's not. You're wrong. You're assuming, no, it's not. It's not. Raising your voice is not illegal in Virginia. You're absolutely 100% wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, it is illegal. It's illegal in Virginia when it comes. I don't understand what he's
saying. Well, he kind of came after me the other night, and I didn't really like it very much, but he's doing it again. He's trying to prove his point. You're absolutely incorrect. It is not illegal to raise your voice in Virginia. That is the dumbest thing I have ever heard.
Yeah, I can show you videos of physical and verbal, and Virginia doesn't really give a shit. So,
well, it looks like McCarthy. Legal. Did he get it? Hold on.
Oh, shit.
Hold on. Come on, mouse. Where are you at? Hold on a second.
Hunt. McCarthy.
There's no way he got it. What the hell's happening? So one thing, no commentary in C-SPAN. It drives me crazy. Dude, Jack, listen, man. I understand you've got a hard on for me, and I don't know what it is. You're saying verbal abuse. I never once in that conversation said I verbally abused my children or my wife. I said I raised my voice and I would yell. You're absolutely putting words in my mouth, and honestly, you're fucking pissing me off. You don't know a thing about me. You don't know a thing about the situation. You are saying verbal abuse and yelling are the same thing, and you're full of shit, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So if you're going to continue to talk to me this way, why don't you fucking come on and face me like a man, or shut the fuck up? Cool? How's that for yelling? How's that for verbal abuse? Am I going to get arrested now? Fucking idiot.
McCarthy.
God. Some fucking people don't know when to shut up.
Jeffries.
Lord almighty.
Jackson of Illinois.
Sorry, Amy, for the language. I apologize.
Jeffries.
I'm very offended.
Jackson of North Carolina.
You should
Jeffries.
Yeah.
Jackson of Texas. Kevin McCarthy.
Are they ever going to solve this thing? What do you think?
I mean, it says some. It says he flipped 15 votes.
Yeah, but he had 15 flipped. He had 15, so he's still missing.
Jeffries.
Well, 4 have voted for others and present, so he's still hurting.
Right.
McCarthy. Giant Paul. Jeffries. Jeffries.
Jeffries voted for Jeffries. That's impressive. Why do people... You know what, man? This is why people don't share their lives. I mean, I'm not mad, Jack. I'm just giving you exactly what you're giving me. You've got some hard on for me. So either A, you know me, or you like fucking are obsessed with my penis or something. I don't know what it is. But bro, you don't know anything about me. I let you into my world and you have made an assumption about me that you have no conceptual idea of. And what you're trying to do is to get a rise out of me, but honestly, dude, all you're doing is just making yourself seem like a pathetic little dick. So knock it off. I think it's 217 is the magic number.
Jordan. McCarthy. Joyce of Ohio. McCarthy. Joyce of Pennsylvania. McCarthy. Ken Logger Dove.
Hey, Ames, are you okay? We gotta go. I'm gonna stay up and watch the rest of this.
She's
Okay.
no. Jason's letting the kids stay until freaking 11 o'clock. Whatever.
Jeffries. Kane of New Jersey. McCarthy.
Oh, it's okay. You know, it's just, you know, what some guy on the fucking internet. You know, who cares?
Kelly of Illinois.
He's probably wanking off right now. He doesn't have both hands free. That's why he hasn't replied, because he thinks he got a rise out of me.
Kelly of Mississippi. McCarthy.
I think it's 217.
Kelly of Pennsylvania.
But it's 4, and he got kicked to the curb last time on 3. So I don't know. We'll see. I think it's over again.
Kiggins of Virginia. McCarthy. Kildee. Jeffries.
This is insane. I can't believe this thing, man.
McCarthy.
It's crazy.
Kilmer.
I mean, it's good,
Jeffries.
I think.
Kim of
I
California.
mean, anytime we can waste politicians' time, that's a good thing. Really?
McCarthy.
I mean, come on.
I mean, they get paid the same. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Jeffries.
it's true.
Krishnamurthy. Jeffries. Custer.
Hey, Amy Stamcombe, are you on?
Kustoff.
She is. Yeah.
McCarthy.
I think Amy probably booted him.
LaHood.
You don't have to boot people like that. Just let me handle him. Oh, here we go, Jack. Jack needs his fucking attention for tonight. All right, here it is. I simply said verbal abuse is illegal on your show. You said it was not in Virginia. You were making a comparison that what I was saying was verbal abuse, and I said I was yelling. There's a very big difference. I never cursed at my children like that. I never insulted them. I never did any of that shit. I would yell and get upset. You're saying and applying something to me that I was committing verbal abuse. That was my argument.
McCarthy.
I said it was not verbal abuse. That's what I disagreed with you on. And then you came back today and you said, wrong, Matt, verbal abuse is in Virginia. And I said mental abuse was absolutely illegal, and so is physical abuse. And if you go back and listen to it, and here's how I'm never wrong, asshole, is because I don't fucking forget what I say.
McCarthy.
So you're not going to twist my words around, and everybody who watched the shows remembers exactly what I said about mental and verbal abuse. That's not this.
Lee of California.
So
Does
piss
he live
off,
in
dude.
Virginia?
I don't know what the fuck he lives in.
Like, what's the matter?
He-
1 and 2. I can tell you right now, the Virginia the county that I live in, they don't give a shit if you've been beaten mentally, physically. They don't care at all. They don't give a shit. Doesn't matter. So,
Yelling is not verbal abuse, bro. It depends what you're yelling and what you're saying and where you're saying it.
Lesko.
Okay? You're not quite understanding this, because I've heard PE coaches. What about football coaches? Is it verbal abuse when they yell at you? Get your fucking ass around that bit. Is that verbal abuse? There are certain situations. Now, am I saying what my yelling was good for the children? Of course not. It never was. But what you're saying is that I verbally directed abuse towards my children, and you're absolutely 100% fucking wrong.
McCarthy.
Trump won't be speaker, Michael. I'm sorry. Never going to happen.
Did you see, because Jason posted it earlier, Percival Jason, there was a 6-year-old who shot his teacher in Newport today. I did not.
Did you hear about the guy that took a hatchet to his dad's neck?
Yes, I did. I heard about it like when it happened from my friends.
Dude, Jack, fuck you. He's gone. I'm banning this fucking guy. Dude, I'm done with this prick.
I heard some details about that were really.
Yeah, it's horrible. Horrible. God, what a twat. Somebody will have to be right, even if it's the sanctity of somebody else's freaking personal business.
Man.
I know. I already blacklisted him. He's fine. He's just an idiot.
Manning.
If he had any guts, he would have come on.
While we're listening, thank you to everyone who said my daughter's beautiful, because she is.
Oh, your daughter's awesome.
She is amazing. My son is too. Don't get me wrong. He's just completely opposite of her.
Matsui.
He's amazing in his
Yeah.
own way. He's the best.
Jeffries.
He's a sweet kid. He's got the biggest heart.
What I can't stand is that,
Jeffries.
like, I don't like talking to people like that. Like, I like the conversations that we just had with Carl.
Yeah, that's great.
That's what I like. I like conversations that we had with, I can't remember her name. God, she's on here all the time. I'm just tired. But I mean, I enjoy conversations like that. I can't stand people that just want to be right so bad
McCall.
that they'll just,
McCarthy.
I don't know, lower their standards of human decency. It just frustrates me. You know what? It frustrates me.
McClintock.
Agreed.
McCarthy. McCullum.
If this doesn't go through tonight, that means they're over the weekend.
McCormick.
Yeah.
McCarthy.
Beth says, let me explain both forms of abuse are. I'm a professional bad husband picker. That's funny.
McGovern.
Huh.
Jeffries.
Oh, sorry, Beth.
McHenry.
Well, happy Epiphany, everybody.
McCarthy. Meeks.
It's the last day of Christmas for anyone who's not Catholic.
Jeffries. Menendez. Jeffries.
Yeah, folks, I don't think he can get the votes. I mean, he was at
Jeffries.
he wasn't at 215, he was at 214.
McCarthy.
He had 15 plus, which puts him at 6 because it was 21.
Jeffries.
So it's 6. He still can't get it.
Miller of
All
Illinois.
6 would have to vote for him, and they didn't.
McCarthy. Miller of Ohio. McCarthy. Miller of West Virginia. McCarthy. Miller Meeks. McCarthy. Mills.
Okay, Matt, have to go night. Good night, Thomas.
McCarthy.
How long do I think this will continue? Honestly, if Kevin McCarthy doesn't make concessions, it's going to go on forever. I don't think Boebert
McCarthy.
and Gates
Moore of Alabama.
and Eli Crane will bow down to anyone's pressure
Moore of Utah.
at all. Matt and Amy, I still remember looking at the 5-year-old.
Moore of Wisconsin.
Oh, Elizabeth, I don't want to read that. I can't read that stuff. I'm sorry. Wait, how big does someone have to be to pull the trigger? That is why that officer couldn't take the chance. Yep, you're absolutely right. Dude, I like this frickin' David. David, you got to call in sometime.
Yeah.
Now I know she was unarmed, but that officer nor anyone else knew that, especially. Right. Like I said, reflective dissonance is always easy to do, but until you're in that situation, you don't know.
Jeffries.
Right.
Murphy.
Do they think yelling it makes it worse? No. Good for standing firm.
McCarthy. Nadler.
I think this is productive. I think this is what.
Napolitano.
Do you guys know that there's people during filibusters who've stood up for 72 hours and
Neal.
I mean, not one person, but they have
Jeffries.
literally
The Goose.
stayed in session for 3 days. This is what government used to be.
No.
This is refreshing for me. I'm excited about this. I think this is the way it should be. You shouldn't make a decision unless you're sure.
McCarthy.
Golly.
Hobart voted present.
Nichols.
Oh, she did.
Jeffries.
There you go. This might be it. You're right.
Jeffries.
Thank you for seeing that, David. I missed it, and I'm the one that said that early, that she would have to vote present.
McCarthy.
So I think it's okay. I think that lowers the required vote. So unless there's one more, this might be okay.
Obernolte.
Yep, it lowers the threshold. You're right, Shelby. Thank you. It could be over. Yep, it very well could be. If one more person hits others, then
Ogles. McCarthy.
you will want to go present. Yeah,
Jeffries.
could be.
Owens. McCarthy. Pallone. Jeffries.
Yes, it would be 216 now, I think would be the number, since it was present. So they would only need, they can't have any more.
Pappas.
If one more person votes in others, or votes for another candidate, I think that would be it. Now, if another person votes present, it's going to lower the total even more. But I think this might be it.
Payne.
Yeah, guys, I was so busy yelling at that jackass and
Pelosi.
having a conversation, I missed it.
Jeffries.
Gates and Gosar didn't vote yet. Thank you, Karen. Yep, that makes sense because I'm wondering where their vote is. Yeah, 216 sounds about right to me because it was 217 before.
Perry.
So
McCarthy.
Yeah.
Peters.
who do I want for speaker? It doesn't matter. The only speaker is going to be Kevin
Henderson.
McCarthy, and it's always going to be that way. I've said that for a year. There was never going to be another speaker.
Kluger.
There's not enough votes.
McCarthy.
McCarthy was minority. And
Phillips.
honestly,
Jeffries.
with these concessions that they're putting in place, I don't care. He can be speaker. They've taken away a lot of his power. If he goes against any of his promises, he's
Jeffries.
screwed.
Porter. Jeffries. Posey. McCarthy. Presley. Jeffries.
Yeah, Shelby, I wouldn't find it weird either. I mean,
Quigley.
I don't think Gates said he would ever vote for him, so we'll see.
Ramirez. Jeffries. Raskin.
Right, Ruth. So if they hit 4, it's over. Right?
Jeffries. Reschenthaler. McCarthy. Rogers of Washington. McCarthy. Rogers of Alabama.
Amy Robinson for speaker. Hell yes. I'd deal with that.
Oh my golly. I would.
Rogers of Kentucky.
I think I would actually
McCarthy.
like that job. I think I would make it
Rose.
fun. Because I would be honest.
We had
Right.
165 people on tonight, Amy. That is the most you and I have had in a long time, sister.
Biggs.
I thought it was way more than that at one point.
Yeah.
When I was
They hit
when
four.
I was
They hit
searching
4.
on- what's that?
They just hit
Ross.
4.
Did? Oh,
Jeffries.
Sorry, but go ahead. I apologize.
Rouser.
that's fine.
Well, you had told me that we'd been kind of low, and you're like, "Oh, maybe I shouldn't come on." And I'm like, "Whatever."
Said that?
And-
I think I just said
No,
like
I think it was Leroy. Maybe he said it. He's like, "Every time I'm on, it seems like I have low users." I'm like, "I don't think so."
something else. I'm just kidding. I love you, Leroy, for listening. Just kidding.
David Scott.
Watch my UFO videos. I don't
Gates
know.
and Gosar have voted. Well, they should have because they're G, and they're in the hall. So they had to have voted. See this? Come on, people, give me the right information.
McCarthy.
No, I think we did pretty good. It's a Friday. It's after the holidays now. People are starting to get back into life. You know.
Yeah, listen, when I first started the show, it used to be a pencil
Sherman.
that I would have
Yeah.
Jeffries.
my what would I call that? My something
Cheryl.
pencil, thought-provoking pencil or something. And I had to oil my knife today, so I'm just
Simpson.
getting it perfect.
McCarthy.
And if you oil a blade, you've got to at least open it like 100 times for it to be at its smoothest point.
Smith
So
of Missouri.
I'm just working the mechanism.
McCarthy.
It's not even a spring loaded. It's just making sure it's
Smith
smooth
of
and it opens
Nebraska.
nice.
McCarthy.
Sorry.
Smith of New Jersey. McCarthy. Smith of Washington.
It's a good show tonight. Thanks, James. We try to have a good show. I mean, I don't like getting all foul mouthed and
Sorensen.
stuff, but you know what? I just don't take any shit on this show. I don't know many people that
Soto.
interact with their people like I do.
Jeffries. Spamberger.
I don't know.
Jeffries.
Okay, Carrie would know. Carrie says that Gosar and you know what? They left.
McCarthy.
They left, and obviously, so they left the anteroom chambers,
Jeffries.
and they were passed over as absent, and now they'll get them on the retouch. Okay, so they're playing theater. This is
Stanton.
theater.
Jeffries.
Love it though. And you said
Stallmer.
something earlier that made me think back to
McCarthy.
I guess it was
Steele.
8th or 9th grade, like civics
McCarthy.
class. Oh
Stefanik.
my gosh, I'm sorry. I've had a
McCarthy.
drink tonight, everybody. I'm sorry.
You should have another one.
McCarthy.
Hold on a second. Who the fuck is insulting Mel?
A lot there. Oh yeah, who was it? I was.
Stevens. Jeffries.
Amy, ban them. Nobody.
no.
I can't see them. And ban them.
McCarthy.
Yeah.
Is this Ona Lee Kavas? She's already banned me. Get her out.
Jeffries.
Yeah.
Nuke her. Get her, Amy.
Get her, Amy.
McCarthy. Swalwell.
Anna. Yeah, she banned. See, that's what they do. They come in here and they get rid of me
Yeah.
because they think I'm the only one that can moderate. Amy, don't you have moderation powers in here?
She does. Yeah.
No, you, Amy. Amy Robinson.
Probably.
Okay. Just haven't looked.
Cano.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
It's
don't
been
be.
really rough for me on social media lately.
You
Not
just
for
chill
me,
and just
like,
relax. You just
McCarthy.
relax. Fine.
I don't get on social media
Tanadar.
anymore.
Amy, did you
Jeffries.
Amy, did you get her?
California. Jeffries.
She probably did. She's amazing. Amy's the
Thompson
best.
of Mississippi.
Amy's awesome. Yeah, if anyone starts ripping off on a user like that, just get rid of them.
Got her. She
Amy's
says
like,
got
got
her.
her.
There you go.
McCarthy.
Love her. Love her.
Tiffany.
And Amy, I don't know who was giving you crap earlier because I saw someone
Timmons.
saying like, "Oh,
McCarthy.
my panties
Jared,
are wide."
I'm not going to ever
Titus.
ban you.
Jeffries.
I honestly,
Talib.
here's the thing. I like arguing with people sometimes. Like Carl,
Kuda.
I enjoy going back and forth, but it's never personal. It's when people make it personal or I misunderstand. I don't
Florence of
misunderstand much
California.
anymore. That's something I did all the time is I would read comments and I immediately go off. Now I stop and I'm like, is this
Florence of
person
New
trying to...
York.
Yeah.
Jeffries.
Yeah,
Tran.
you're right, Matt. Like that's I don't think I
Jeffries.
noticed that until you just said that, but you were absolutely right. You have literally
Jeffries.
stopped flying
Tran.
off the handle at people
McCarthy.
Thank you.
who don't, because a lot of people aren't talking to us. They're talking within the comments, but
Yeah.
it's been great.
Valadeo.
There's been
I'm
a lot
learning.
of crazy comments tonight, like a lot of shade throwing.
Oh, I'm listening to it. It's insane. People are grumpy because they're watching this shit.
McCarthy.
I'm grumpy too. Is it like a full moon or something? I have no idea, but like I've been
No,
grumpy.
I was grumpy last night, but I'm actually was having a good day today. I was ahead of it today. Like I felt like I was ahead of the news cycle. I was making strong predictions.
McCarthy.
Eli reached out. I
Vargas.
felt that was good.
Yeah,
Jeffries.
that's awesome.
Vasquez.
It's amazing when you take away medicine that makes you lose your temper, but also a temper that was already there.
Jeffries.
I just learned to chill out, man. It was a great wake up call. Seriously, it really was.
Good.
McCarthy.
I'm glad. I'm so happy. Like
Walmart.
honestly, and I didn't watch the end of your show the other night. I like literally
Waltz.
beelined it for bed, so I didn't. I don't know if I missed a lot
McCarthy.
more or what, but I think
Oh
it's really
no,
awesome.
you had to get out of that. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Jeffries.
No, it wasn't crazy. It was just
Waters.
selfishly. I worry about myself.
Everybody thinks like
Watson Coleman.
CPS is up my ass every guys. They pulled. You have to understand a lot. Okay,
Weber,
I'm gonna say one
Texas.
thing, and I have to say this. CPS
McCarthy.
was wrong.
Webster of Florida.
A lot of this was.
McCarthy.
Okay, I can't say anything else. I'm not going to hurt my daughter. Just
Yeah.
understand that a lot of 99.9% of the things that were said were completely fictitious.
McCarthy.
So please understand.
Wexton.
You know what? Judge me. I don't give a fuck.
Wild.
I don't know if he's talking to me, Amy, or the
Williams of
other
Georgia.
Amy. I don't know what Waffle House Warrior is,
Jeffries.
but I will just say I
Williams
love
of New
Waffle
York.
House, and I wish there was one closer to my house.
Williams of New York.
So it's 205 to 208.
McCarthy.
Jeffries has 208.
Yeah.
He will
Williams
get
of
to
Texas.
212, 211. So there's basically 5 votes available. McCarthy's up to
Wilson
206.
of Florida.
They were at 200, so there's 6 of his votes. He should have another
Jeffries.
7 pending.
Wilson of South Carolina.
See if I did my math right.
McCarthy.
That'll put him
Whitman.
at 214.
McCarthy.
Here they
Womack.
come.
McCarthy.
Here they come. 210,
Yackham.
209,
McCarthy.
211,
Zinke.
212. That's it. Like, I was close. Hold on. They're going to get the people who weren't there yet. I think there's a couple more votes out there. Okay, so here's the. I still think there's another 3 votes out there for McCarthy. 2 to 3 votes out for McCarthy, and there's at least another 3 for Jeffries. Now Gates could also, if Gossar and Gates didn't vote, this should be fun. Let's watch. Oh, this is interesting.
Buck. McCarthy.
So he jumped. Buck jumped. We might have it. This might be it.
Gates. Present.
Present. That's it. It's over. It's over. He got what he wanted. We'll find out. Present. Good. Good for them, man. That's the way you fucking do politics. Good for all of them. I don't know if it's over yet. They got him. It looks pretty good. Did Eli
McCarthy.
vote?
Graves of Louisiana. McCarthy.
Did yeah, I think it's
Carter
over.
of California. Jeffries.
Hold on. Yeah, the rules package is a whole nother conversation, but Eli voted for Biggs. Thank you for telling me.
David Scott. Jeffries.
Holy shit. Isn't it 216 now?
I don't know. I have to Google it because I don't know.
Who's left? Who's left? I didn't pay attention. I ruined it. The Super Bowl, and I didn't pay attention.
Oh.
I told you Eli wasn't going to vote. I told you he wouldn't bend, dude. Eli's a freaking warrior, man. Gosar voted for McCarthy. Did these people ever take any breaks? Good Lord, I would not want to be them. Oh, please. Chris, I'm not mocking you, but fuck them. Who cares? 216 is what he needs. Look at Gates. Holy shit, they need one more. There's one missing. Oh, it would go to 215. Yes, it's over. Because it goes to 215 because Gates voted present. It's 215. That's right. Yeah, it's over. But now you got to get the rule changes passed. You're right. I mean, they'll get it passed. Nobody wants this to happen again. I mean, and honestly, the concessions they've made are actually good for it's good for the business. Take away too much power from the House, and you have to. Yeah, if hold on. Yeah, if Gates voted present, that would drop it to 215. Because it was 217, 2 present drops it to 215. He's got 215, it's over. I love Matt Gates waiting to the last minute. It's so fucking perfect. Why don't you just throw a knife in the middle of the floor and let him go after it? Whoever's left standing wins.
Right.
Thunderdome, bitch. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. They got to tabulate. They got to count everything up. I think this was perfect. What did I say? I said the one person who would never, ever bend was Eli, and he stuck it to the end. Boebert, that was right. It's going to present and Gates, but that's different than voting for McCarthy. But Eli stuck it to the end, man. Got to give him love. I'm gonna text him.
I love our people.
Yes.
Oh. Amy, I just love you. I don't know what to say. She's such a good person. I do, and by the way, I do pray for you every single day. Like, I really do. Like, she's just got a lot going on. He's saying 217. Are you Googling this or was it 216? Is it over at 216?
No,
for real?
I'm texting Eli.
Let's see.
Yeah, I was texting Eli to just congratulate him and see if he responds, because I'm sure he's on his phone. Come on, Pop Smoke. Let's do it. So now, why would he carry? Because with Gates moving to present, 2 presents, that drops him to 215. He's at 215. Help me understand. You know, yeah, let's find out. I got to give Gates props, man. He's got balls of stone. He doesn't care who hates him. I love that. I'd love to sit down and talk to him. Just pick his brain for an hour or so. I got to get frickin' Eli on. Like,
Yeah.
listen, dude, get your butt over. He doesn't have to listen to me. I'm
100%.
nothing. I'm nothing. I'm navel lint. But I think people would interact with him a lot.
Yeah. For sure. I love when we
Oh,
get
who was
people
that
on.
talking to Gates? Oh, I didn't see.
Darren
He
says
didn't need
needs
218, Darren. He needed 218 before people started voting present. So 3
Right.
overall people voted present. That puts him at 215. So it says 215. I'll ask Matt Gates to come on, but he won't come. I'm too small for him.
Sorry.
Carrie, they're explaining why on Fox. Okay. Well, like I said, we were guessing. Because I wasn't involved. I was doing the show. So you guys know better than me. I very rarely, I'm out of it. They're sitting around pretty jovial for him not getting it.
Right.
Well, they seem to be working pretty hard on Gates. So they may be trying to sell him on something.
Man, it's wow.
Carrie says he needs 217 now. Really?
I just read anywhere from 213 to 218 depending on the present votes and others.
Yeah,
So-
guys. I don't think so. The winner has to have 50% plus one of the votes cast.
Yeah.
Oh shit, really? Wait a second, really? Are you guys making all this shit up? Because I haven't heard a lot of this stuff. Let me hold on.
What?
Let me break
Like
out
what?
my truck.
I don't think I'm seeing all the comments.
Well,
tonight.
people are saying that he has to have 50% plus one. Well, he has that, doesn't he? Yes.
Right. Yeah.
He's got that. They are saying the McCarthy vote is worth more than present, so trying to change Gates. I don't think so, guys and girls. I don't know. Because that's my George Bush math says he walked in at 217. 2 people voted not present. That brings it down to 215. He's got 215. Oh, you're saying 50% plus. Well, it is 50% plus one. They need one more to vote present or one of the present to vote McCarthy. Okay. All right. I would love to be circulating in that room to hear. Oh, yeah. They had laser mics and they told them to turn it off. They can post it after, but not live. The laser mics pick up all this shit. Present basically means you're here, but you're not voting. So it takes down the total of capable or counted voters. Does that make sense? Folks, I'm tired. I've been doing this.
Yeah. I'm tired
all
too.
fucking week.
I
I mean,
might have to go soon. I'm sorry.
get out of here now. I love you. Good night. See, kick you out of here. Bye.
I'm sorry.
Peace. Don't be shut
You're
up.
kicking me out?
You're loved. Get out. Yes, I'm kicking your ass out. You're booted. Goodbye.
Well, I love you guys.
We love you
Happy
too, buddy.
Friday.
See you soon.
Happy Epiphany.
Bye bye.
Good night, everybody.
Leave.
I love you.
Go.
Good night.
Get out of here.
Good night.
Good night, buddy.
All right,
I
I'm hanging
love
out.
Amy. She's the best. So we're all trying to figure this out. I made the mistake of talking live with people and not paying attention. So I have been in the know all week. I don't know where we're at now. Well, now it says McCarthy has 216. Now it's over. Now he's got 216. Everyone seeing this? 216 to 212. Come on, it's over, right? Okay, I just heard in the headset, I need it and I need it now. And that was the person that's counting the votes. So they're saying, hurry, let's get this. They had the vote thinking that they had spent 3 present votes, not 2. So they actually need Gates to vote McCarthy at this point because someone else changed their vote. Did Gates ever? Okay. Okay, so that makes sense. All right. So see, I didn't have that information. Thanks, everybody. God, it's fucking teamwork here tonight, man. Good job. Good job. I'll give you guys some props or something. Very props. Here you go. This is all for you.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations, everybody. Yep, they need Gates. Gates is not going to... He said he would not vote for McCarthy. This is interesting. And Boebert said she wouldn't. Maybe Eli will. I don't know. I doubt it. Thanks, Shelby. It's not just Trump. I got a lot of fun stuff here. We can do this all day. I like this headline on Fox, The Hitchhiker's Guide to What's Going to Down Tonight with the Speaker's Election. How many pads do you have on that Roadcaster? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 8 times 4 bank. So 164? 64. 64. All right, here we go. Let's listen. I can hear a fucking pin drop. Listen to this. This is insane. Shh, everyone. I'm hunting rabbits. Oh, stop.
The tellers agree in their tallies that the total number of votes cast is 432, of which the Honorable Kevin McCarthy of the state of California has received 216.
Holy shit.
The Honorable Hakeem Jeffries of the state of New York has received 212. Honorable Jim Jordan of the state of Ohio has received 2.
God, you got to give Jim love. I mean, come on. He didn't do anything wrong.
Has received 2. No member-elect having received a majority of the votes cast, a speaker has not been elected.
Yep.
Will the gentleman repeat?
Will the gentleman repeat his motion?
I move the House do now adjourn until noon Monday.
Say no. Fuck that. Make him go again.
Adjourn. All those in favor?
Republicans are going to win. They have more people.
The ayes have it. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed say no.
They're going to request a frickin' roll call vote right now. They're going to do a roll call.
In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it.
Ask for the yeas and nays. Madam Clerk, ask for the yeas and nays.
Yeas for nays. Here we go.
The yeas and nays are requested.
They're going to do a 15-minute vote.
Vote by yeas and nays will rise. A sufficient number having risen, the yeas and nays are ordered.
They'll take a 15-minute break and they'll vote electronically. Watch. I'm going to blow this up so you guys can see it. God. See, now I'm back in charge. Now I've got everything in my head again. We're good. I won't let you down again, team. See, here's the electronic vote. They're all going to break out their phones. And they will punch in the numbers. This is insane. Who's going to jump? Who's going to jump? Yeah, because look at, see that little, that they're all tallying. They're calling in their phones. Republicans will win this because there's more Republicans. See, Democrats don't want them to be able to go home because they want to punish the Republicans. The Republicans want to go home. They want to go. No, Democrats don't want them to go home. Look at that. The nays are winning right now. Democrats don't want them to go home. They want to punish the Republicans. They want to stay there and keep doing this to teach them a lesson. But the Republicans want to go home. I think the nays may win. I think the Republicans want to go home too, or want to stay there and just get this shit over with. I would. Who wants to go? Who wants to come back on Monday? Screw that. Kristen says, of course the Democrats want to do shit at 2 a.m. That was perfect. The nays, 185. Doesn't look good. I can't believe this. Yeah, I may do the same thing. I got a lot of people on, so I'm not going to leave. If you're here, I'm here. Yeah, it's all part of the plan. That's right.
It's all part of the plan.
This is all Donald Trump's plan right here. All of it. Yep.
It's all part of the plan.
Jason, this has happened many times. 7, 8 times throughout history. This happened with the filibuster. I mean, God, this has happened before. This happens all the time. Nothing we're used to when they would actually legislate. When they actually legislated, and now recently it's all been executive orders and it's bullshit. But this is good. This is not better than a hockey game. Yeah, it hasn't happened for 100 years. It's been since 1923. But it's happened 7, 8 times in history. This isn't even the largest. I think the longest amount of vote streak was 109, and it lasted 2 months, I think. Yeah, 109 times. Yep, that's correct, Debbie. I would agree, bring them box lunches. It looks like they're going to be sitting down again, folks. There's only 57 out, and they're 22 votes ahead. I don't know. I think Republicans are slow rolling it. Yeah, for speaker nominations, Jason. Yeah, in the history, U.S. history, 7, 8 times, something like that. Was it 135 times, Mel? Whatever. Who cares? Yeah, they might be slow rolling it. They get a full 15 minutes. I don't know. It ain't looking too good. 45 remaining. The Republicans have 36, though, so they're slow rolling it for sure. They need to take the 2 contenders and let them fight it out on stage. Wouldn't that be nice? 189 to 208. I don't know. Come on, Republicans. It's time to pop smoke. Let's do this. No Republicans have said nay. It's been 194 to 210. 2 Democrats have their vote. It's going to go. It's going to go to Republicans. They're just slow rolling. Who went after Matt? I don't know. Profar, I think. Something like that. Prosar. All right. Folks, I think... Oh, 1 Republican did vote nay. It just came through. I must be a little behind. Hold on. Sorry. No, I'm not behind. 2 said nay. Okay, so it's 2 nay from Republican. It's 196 to 213 with 24 votes left, which would mean a total of 23 votes left. So that would make it 220. So Republicans can win unless others say nay. They're going to take a break. I can't freaking believe this. These putzes. Why don't you just finish this shit? Debbie, they're not getting booted. They're voting whether to stay or reconvene on Monday. So they're probably going to reconvene on Monday. It looks like the Republicans have it. Yeah. Yeah, the yays look like they're going to have it for sure. I think they shouldn't leave that room until they frickin' have it done. All right, everybody, I'm going to do Veteran Crisis just to be safe because I think it's going to end. 1-800-273-8255, press 1 or hit 988. Veteran Crisis, 22 veterans commit suicide a day. It is way too many. Traumatic brain injury, PTS, anxiety, depression are all very real. Veterans, it starts with a conversation. If you know somebody who is suffering from these things, remember, veterans need swim buddies, they need battle buddies, and right now they need anybody, and the anybody is you. Please do me a favor. Reach out to a vet. You need something. They can help. Veteran Crisis Hotline is free of charge. It'll never be reported to your duty station. And most importantly, it is not just for veterans, it's for civilians too. Please reach out to the Veteran Crisis Hotline if you have a question. Republicans even do this slow. Would you just frickin' punch it in so we can go? That's great. Still faster than voting in Arizona. That's great. Folks, I think we can safely go. I don't think there's going to be 15 Republicans who are going to vote to stay there. They want to go. They're sick of this shit. I'm sick of this shit. But keep it up. Now they have all weekend to work on one vote. And trust me, if they don't get that vote, that person can say, you know what? We gave them, they snatched defeat out of the jaws of victory. Yeah, it's 3 nays, and the people are right. They're playing. They're trying to make deals to see if they can get it done tonight, but I don't think so. They're going to hold. If those nays, no votes, get below 5. Right now it's 6 ahead. Oh, now it's 9. Hold on. Hold your phone. See you, James. 6. The magic number is getting down to 5. Magic number is 4. Now the magic number is 3. Jeez Louise. And then you got that one little Democrat vote sitting there. You know that's probably Rashid Tlaib or AOC or one of the other jerks. Come on, man. Hurry up. It's like watching two three-toed sloths have sex in my grandma's wheelchair, uphill, covered in syrup. In other words, slow. They're going so slow, we're gonna go back in time. All right. Now the magic number is 2. Magic number is 2. Yeah, Tom, I'm getting close. Even if it's a nay, I'm popping smoke. I'm done. I'm not going to screw around anymore. Magic number is now 1. Magic number is now, it looks like it's over. They're going home. Wait, look at Eli. Eli and Gates. Hold on a second. Eli and Gates are doing something. They're changing it. So what they're trying to do is go to nay so they can stay, because I think Gates just said they can vote again and he'll vote for him. I think they're good. They're going to stay. Because now the nays are 219. Okay. Welcome to politics, folks. They're going to stay. Republicans got the final vote that they needed, so Gates is going to jump. Somebody's going to jump and vote for him. Well, yeah, I think a lot of them, Charlie Mike, they're like, continue. So there's a reason to continue. And the only reason to continue is because they got that final vote. It's going to take an hour and a half for another vote. And hopefully they go up there and go, I nominate, and shut the F up. That would be nice. And then just vote and get this shit over with. Yep. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to go spend time with the family. You guys can watch this on C-SPAN. They're going to vote again, so I think they're good. Let's see what happens. I'm going to watch it here. I might come back on in a little bit, but I'm going to get a snack. God bless you. Thanks for watching with me. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight. I had a good time. But I've been doing this now for 6 days. I'm done. I'm going to go ahead and watch this on the TV out there. I'll talk to y'all soon. Good night, and thank you for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. You're rock stars. See ya. After this.